Okay.
Hi guys.
Howdy.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up?
Sorry guys, we was talking about other stuff.
Indian tribal land.
We should seriously, we should do one
That was
on
actually
that.
that was a really cool
Seriously,
topic
it was a good. They
backstage.
did a good discussion till we went sideways.
It was.
Yeah.
Hey Wanda. We got Wanda in here. Ghost Tracers.
Hi everybody. Hi Wanda. Hi Ghost Tracers. Well, Dakota's on panel with us. So hi Dakota again.
Hey Mama Cassie.
Hey Cassie, how's it going?
But yes, this is episode 2. The first episode we talked about our favorite equipment. Or no, we talked about old school ways to investigate. That's what it was. And we're trying to come up with different topics to come up with and all that too. And I figured this was a good one. The one we have tonight where we're going to be talking about our favorite location we investigated and our favorite location we want to investigate. What's up, D&K? How you doing? I'm going to have to add you to my Nub React. I was checking out your videos. Pretty awesome. But how is everybody doing tonight? Of course, as you can tell, we got Dakota, Jenny and Fluffy,
Okay.
Dom and Diva, and this.
Hey guys.
I'm alright. I just stabbed myself.
Oh God.
You what?
Don't do that.
I stabbed myself. I was trying to get this case open and I stabbed myself with my pocket knife.
Or at least you didn't almost get hit
okay?
by the trailer this time.
Yeah, I'm
The
good.
stitches? Do you need stitches?
No.
That's what we need to know.
It ain't bleeding or nothing. I just poked myself.
You
At
didn't
least
do
you
it
didn't
hard
do
enough.
Do you
At
want
least you didn't almost get hit by a tractor trailer this time,
inside.
Dakota.
Oh my God.
Do we need to talk about that?
No, I'm good.
Jesus.
We
As
was
long as
walking to
nobody's
the.
getting abducted, nobody's getting ran over by tractors, and
We
nobody is being solicited in ways they don't want to be, we're fine.
We was walking to the 1 a.m.
Don't
house,
jinx it.
right? And Dakota was just looked one way, and then all of a sudden started running, and there was a big old tractor trailer coming. I had to like yell at Dakota to stop. Like
Dakota's trying to head towards the light.
I was like, that would have been an awful birthday present right there. Like
It was on your birthday too, wasn't
it was.
I
It was.
look
Dakota?
stupid. I look stupid. I'm looking up in the air because I have the big screen and it's not showing on my computer. So the camera's there, but I'm looking up here. So if I'm looking up here, it's not because you're not interested. It's I'm trying to check the chat at the same time.
Hey, we got Patrick and Melissa.
Hey Melissa. Hey Patrick.
Hello.
Cat, how's it going?
But before we get started,
Hey Fluffy.
next week, I think. Hey Fluffy. Double D Paranormal is going to be up here for a few days to investigate.
Nice.
And then the week after, me, Dakota, and Rob are going to a jail to investigate. And then the week after that, we're going to Satan's Bridge. And then about 2 weeks after that, there's this thing called the Family Reunion or something. I don't know. I've heard something about it in North Carolina. Like, I don't know. But
you heard of this, right? Nubs. Me, G, hunting with Hodge, and this other guy, I forgot his name, and his girlfriend Kyla were going to Old Hospital.
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and he just had a live, and he was showing the video. It was Destination Fear, something like that. They went there, and they were saying that this guy that was arrested, he was a murderer. He went there because he got hurt, and he got thrown out the window, and they think it was a paranormal entity that threw him out the window because he was saying something's gonna get me. So I was saying to Jay, I was like, this is my first real investigation, and I says I could see myself being thrown out the window by the ghost. I was like, but yeah, we're going on the 8th, and I'm like really excited. So
nice. That's gonna be epic.
That'll be fun.
So this is my first real investigation. I've been to other places like a graveyard and stuff like that, but
Nubs, I was looking into the hospital in College Hill for us. It's only $500.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
I was looking, but they don't have anything available for the end of this year, so probably have to wait till next year for us to go.
Oh, really? I don't know. Well, we were gonna either do it on the 8th or the 12th, but
what's up, Cheryl? Okay, that definitely sounds epic. Like
that's gonna be cool.
Yeah, and we're doing the alone. There's four floors plus the basement. Yeah, and the basement is where the morgue and the incinerator and all there. So, yeah,
Exciting for sure.
I'm gonna lie on the girl. We're gonna have walkie-talkies, communicate. But
that's one of them.
Oh, nice.
He's showing us his GoPro.
That's
Put
the
that
other
thing
one.
wow, I always wanted to get one of those.
I paid $30 for each of them.
I got this one.
Oh, that's it? That's all?
Yeah. They ain't actual GoPros. They're like GoPros, but they're off-brand.
Oh,
That's
they work.
If they do the same thing.
Dakota.
Yeah.
This is a 4K one.
Yeah, this one.
And it has Wi-Fi also. So if I do have a signal, I could send my footage directly.
Look at these boys whipping out their GoPros.
I got that, but I don't have no batteries for it.
Hey, Nubs, these GoPros right here take the exact same batteries as that one.
Lucky, take out your
equipment. Whip out your GoPro and show it off.
Right?
And this one got a case.
The show. Wait.
Zingman, what's up,
Patrick
dude?
And Melissa.
Hey, David.
What's up, David?
But you know how people, when they start these questions, they start from the top and work their way down? We're going to start from Dom, work our way to Diva, Tara and Fluffy, Dakota, and then me. So we're going to do it opposite.
So do you want us to start just with one and we'll come back after for the second one, or you want to both?
Sure, we'll start with our favorite location we've investigated so far.
Okay, favorite investigation I investigated so far. I'm pulled between two places. Which one is in Canada, the other one's in the US. So I'm pulled between both.
Both.
Okay, so the US is Gettysburg. But Gettysburg in general, not just one spot, it's the whole place. I fell in love with Gettysburg the first time I went there. The paranormal evidence I picked up from there is, if I would have only one investigation to say the other side does exist, which I do know anyways, but that it would be Gettysburg. All the evidence that I picked up there is just to blow your mind. The other place in Canada is a prison. It's called Cornwall Prison. It's in Cornwall, Ontario. I've investigated that place more than 70 times.
Oh wow.
In evidence videos and stuff like that I have from that place, I have from more than almost 20 gigs of stock picked up from that place. I had, like I said, this was like the first time I went there. I fell in love with that place. Every weekend I would be there at opening and I would leave at close. The last paranormal investigation that was done in that prison presently, because they before COVID and stuff, they shut down to do renovations, was my team. It was a week before Christmas. That was the last investigation, and I got burned on my butt.
Ooh.
With my cell phone.
Wow.
Yeah, cell phone. I was investigating a tunnel that they used to bring prisoners up to the courts and bring them back to the cells. And in that prison, it's called the paranormal tunnel. All sorts of stuff will happen there. You'll hear voices singing. You'll see orbs. And when I say you'll see orbs, is not orbs on pictures, it's directly in your face. You'll see them from your eyes.
Wow.
move around. Yeah, you'll get touched. So I was investigating that tunnel. I was leaning against the wall. Nobody could come behind me. And all of a sudden, I had another investigator and the director of the prison with us, where we were asking questions. And all of a sudden, I jumped like 4 feet high. I was screaming as hell. I pinched my butt, and I felt it was hot. So I got my cells there. So I took my cell. It was closed for the investigation. The cell was open to the Quebec newspaper, which I don't read French newspapers.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know why it was there, but that prison used to have French people in that prison and also English people. Since it's close to the borders of Quebec and Ontario, there's about an hour and a half of distance between both places. So maybe somebody maybe a spirit in French, but those are my two favorite places I love to investigate. So sorry if I took too much time.
You didn't take too much time, Diva.
Well, I'm basically changed my name and started doing paranormal back in February. But along with this old hospital, that's going to be my first big investigation. I also have out here, I made arrangements for June to go to the Kreshner Mansion, because I was going to be going in May, but G said, oh no, there's an opening here. So I was like, all right, I'd rather go to the old hospital first and then go to Kreshner, which is old mob mansion, and there's murders there, and a lot of activity there. But this old hospital, I've heard the history behind it. It's crazy, and there's a lot of activity. And I'm very sensitive to spirits. And like you were saying about the Indians, when I went to the reservation, they had a powwow there, and I was talking to a head Indian, and he looked at me and he's like, you have an aura about you. He goes, you're very sensitive, and he was telling me all these things like you can get attachments and all this, but he's like, you have a very sensitive spirit. And I was like, wow, how does he know this about me? So I am very, very sensitive to spirits. I can sense them. Like, that's why I take out my SLS, and I'm usually on the train, and all of a sudden something pops up, But I'm really anxious to get, my subscribers up, which this purge with YouTube is a little bit crazy, but I have a lot of places that I want to go. I want to go to a prison, which is Attica. I have to see if they reopened after COVID, but Attica, they had a movie about it. If you Google Attica, the murderers and all that, I mean, there are very negative spirits there. So what was his name? Not Ted Bundy, Manson, when the murderer Manson. But I'm just interested in getting some more locations and stuff like that. But I got a lot of places lined up. So I hope you guys will enjoy. I'm
definitely ready.
Still getting my equipment. My son ordered REM pods for me. But my cousin, who's into dowsing rods, I remember you, Nubs, used the dowsing rods.
I love them.
Cool. Yeah. So he's going to give me them. So I'm thinking I'm going to take that to Old Hospital and see how that goes with the dowsing rods.
That's going to be cool.
Yeah. So basically I'm a newbie, but I have a lot of places that are on my schedule. So.
Well, I can't wait to see them.
Mm-hmm. Well, May 8th is when we go to Old Hospital. And we're going to try to go live, but they said that the Wi-Fi is kind of sketchy and they're trying to fix it. So if we can't go live, we'll just video it, But hopefully go live.
I can't wait to see it.
Oh, I can't wait to go there. I'm going to be 30 minutes all alone on this floor, but I think I'm going to have a good time,
Oh, yeah. It's going to be epic for sure.
Yeah. There's a lot of history in that place, and it's big. So, yeah. So,
Fluffy Jen.
You first.
All right. Well, I guess I'll do two of them because there's
the places of your favorite places you missed.
One in Mass and one in California. So,
Mass first.
Mass first. Oh God, I'm trying to remember.
Fluffy worked all day, you guys, so he's kind of tired.
We love you, Fluffy.
I'm still here, man.
I've been to so many in Mass. I'm trying to remember. I guess, I haven't been there yet. Just the outskirts. I guess one of the places would be Fairfield Hills Hospital in Connecticut. I mean, I know that's not Mass, but it's right out on the outskirts of Mass. I went there with Lou, and that video I did there was actually featured on, God, what's his channel? Chills. I was number 10 out of 11 videos that he picked like a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago.
The clip was really cool too.
So I would say that, and then for California so far, I mean, there's gonna be more that I go to, but
the Wave Cave.
I'd say that, yeah.
He went to Spawn Ranch.
Yeah. That and the Omen House.
He went to tell him he went to Spawn Ranch.
Yeah, Spawn Ranch. I tried hitting up as many places as I could that had to do with the Manson family and Sharon Tate and La Bianca.
Tay, my favorite niece.
So,
and he sat inside of the Wave Cave, the infamous Wave Cave.
Nice.
And I also got almost in trouble for flying my drone into the driveway up to the old house where Sharon Tate used to live. Because the gate
that story is really funny though. Okay, so we were at David Ullman's house, and David's like, "Fluffy, fly your drone over because the new owner of the Manson, where Sharon Tate's house used to be, that house is gone. They rebuilt this luxury multi-million-dollar mansion, and it's the guy. I believe it's the producer from Full House. That's his home. That's his property.
Okay. Wow.
So he's got all kinds of security and all kinds of shit. So David Ullman goes, Fluff, fly your drone over the fence so you can get an aerial perspective of the house for the video. Fluff walks up to the gate and does it, and he's like, Fluff, I told you to stand here and fly your drone over there. You're gonna get us in trouble.
Because they have cameras right at the gate. So
And then-
even before you drive up to the newer house that's there now, because they knocked the old one down that was there before, they have a wooden gate there that you can't even see over unless like you know, tall enough to see over it.
Even if you could, you couldn't see the house.
Yeah, you can't. You just
around.
see the curved driveway. That's it. But no, I was not thinking, and I walked up to the gate with the cameras on, flying my drone over there instead of staying like.
So they saw you
back at the house where you were supposed to be. It was funny. Like I wish I was recording that for B-roll, because you just hear David Ullman go, "Fluff, get over here." It was funny. We had a great time filming over there. That was fun. Anything else? That's it?
As of right now, that's it, because I still have places that I haven't been to yet, so I can't talk on them yet.
Okay, my turn. My favorite places I've ever like investigated at. Dang, I've been to a lot of places. This is before YouTube. You know, I was just doing this as a hobby. But I do have a special place for the Queen Mary, because that was the first time I really ever, and that was the first time I really ever experienced that type of energy. And the reason that ship had so much energy was because everything it had done, you know, being a warship at one point, being it was a Royal Mail ship. It carried passengers. That ship had been through a lot. It carried, so supposedly, I don't know this to be factual, but supposedly it carried Aleister Crowley's cremated remains on board. For what reason, I don't know. It was for why it was being transported. I believe the story was somebody had purchased it in the United States and they were transporting it via that ship, via post. And there's some rumor that, you know, the cremated remains weren't still in the vessel that it was being shipped in, that they had spilled out. So there's that story, supposedly. I don't know it to be factual. I've never really truly investigated into it, but I heard that story via when the Osborne kids were filming on the ship, and they got told that story.
Ooh.
So that I have a special place for is that ship. But most people don't know I'm horribly afraid of ships. Like, it is one of my big phobias. Like, I've been on cruise ships and I do not like them at all. I stayed on the Queen Mary for a week, and that was interesting. I get excited about it until I'm there, and the reason being is because the confinement and the energy is much more concentrated to me. I mean, not for everybody, but to me. And that's why ships kind of irk me. Because I have nowhere to go to purge the energy. So I'm kind of sitting in it for however long. You know, if I'm on a 5-day cruise, I'm sitting there for 5 days, you know. But yeah, so I have that big respect for that ship, for everything it did historically and everything. But the energy there is insane. It's definitely, if you've never had a chance, hopefully they will bring it back to restoration where people can actually go back to it, just on a casual front and experience that. And then I had one more place, which is the Gila Jail in Globe, Arizona.
I've seen
has a lot of
videos.
That place has a lot of intense energy, and most of the stuff, like, we have a second video coming out because we went back there and filmed in when did we go film back there again? October?
It was before Halloween.
And Fluff has had a hard time getting the footage off one of his cameras. That's why we haven't put the video out yet. But there's just, for some reason, and everybody who investigates there with me has said this, like, those spirits just really reach for you for some reason. I don't know why. I haven't figured it out. But they just really have that reach for me, and I always have an interaction with, like, a personal, like, it's very concrete interaction. So those are some of my favorite places to go and investigate that I've investigated at.
Nice. Cool places.
Dakota.
Well, I would probably have to say one of my favorite places was probably St. Albans. I like St. Albans. That was pretty cool.
Nice.
And then there was one more. I can't think of the name of it, but I think he was with us, Nubs. I can't think of the name of it.
We've been to a lot, so.
But I know me and Nubs, we're both looking forward to Lake Shawnee.
Oh yeah.
Bucky.
Lake Shawnee. Wow.
I cannot wait to October 8th.
So I can sneak in your gear bag, right? I fit.
Of course. Of course. My favorite place that I've investigated.
Yeah.
Probably two places. St. Albans, of course. That place was on my bucket list, and just going there was so freaking epic. But I still have to say the place where I've seen the most activity. Well, there's two places. The Ward Shadow House. That place has been active from the first time we went there. The 1 a.m. house. That's another extremely active place. And Road 666, of course. That place will always be in my top favorite location.
I want to go there. I do.
We went there on my birthday, but we went there too early, we think.
Yeah.
And it just turned out to be a weird night because Kyla hurt her back. Like, her back started hurting. Mm-hmm. And I twisted my ankle that night. So I was limping back, and my light died. So if something would have came after me, they would have just got me because I won't running.
You can't run. Oh no.
I won't running that night because my ankle was so bad, and it was just. But
Nubsy was saying, "Just catch me, please."
Yeah, you just gonna chase me.
Yeah.
This is your free time to just get me. Like, I ain't fighting back. You can just have me.
But what do you mean by it's too early? Is there a certain time?
It just there won't much happening in the traffic. It was like a lot of traffic that night too, and it was just weird. Like, not much happened, and there was just too many cars on the road because it was quite a bit of cars that night. And it just, I don't know, it just, my ankle was killing me, so I was just ready to get back to the car anyway. But yeah, those are probably favorite locations. St. Albans, like, definitely, because just the vibe in there, the freaking Octagon Mansion is another one. Like, I actually got shocked by my dowsing rods 3 times in that place. Like, it was bad. It was weird there. Yeah, I can't wait to go back. We went on we did a public one too, and it was like 15 people for like 5 groups. But the thing is, nope, it won't nothing in the way. Like, nobody got in the way. It was like everybody was out of the way, so it won't bad. It was worth $50 or whatever, how much we paid.
Yeah.
I know I paid 50. What did Rob? I can't remember, but that place is.
I think altogether it was about $120 something for us to go up there.
Yeah, then that really wasn't bad. Like, and it wasn't too far. It was maybe an hour and 20 minutes from me.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, I thought it was like 3-4 hours, but it was like
That's cool. That's close.
Oh yeah. All right. Now we're gonna do favorite locations we want to investigate. And we'll look. I'll start. We'll go in regular direction this time. So me,
Okay.
Dakota. Yeah, we'll go that way this time. There's two of them. One of them we're investigating in October, and that's Lake Shawnee. I've been wanting to get there before YouTube and everything. And the second place is my number one top location, and that's the catacombs. Like in Paris and France. Or yeah.
Dom's face.
Catacombs.
He's like, yes.
Oh yes. Oh hell yes.
That is my top location that I want to investigate.
I have a souvenir.
Oh, I know you got.
Uh-huh.
I've seen it. Like it's freaking epic.
But, if ever you get to France, just let me know and I will hook you up with somebody over there that will bring you to the catacombs, but not the catacombs.
Yeah.
Not what you see when you pay to go to the catacombs. They bring you to how can I explain it? Like a museum of bones and stuff like that. What I'm talking about is the real catacombs, the way it was never touched, and yeah.
No, for the good part.
Yeah.
See, what got me about the catacombs?
The really good part of the catacombs.
Yeah, I watched that movie As Above, So Below, and that movie got me like wanting to go to the catacombs like ASAP. Like, I mean, it's a movie, so you know
There's
all
some,
not true and all that, but
there's also catacombs in Italy, but
in Baltimore too. That's what somebody told me.
I would tell you, the France one compared to the Italian one, I would go to the French one because the Italian one, it's not that it's not creepy, but it's the catacombs. You start as soon as you get in that called catacombs. You start seeing bones and old priests in monk suits and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, but I prefer the real catacombs in France.
Yeah. All right, Dakota, your favorite place you want to investigate?
Oh.
And it can be more than one. Like I had Lake Shawnee and the catacombs. So.
Well, I know one is I would love to go up to Gettysburg.
Yes, Gettysburg's another one.
And then I know it's a trip, but Romania's Dracula's castle.
Hell yes.
Yep.
Hell yes.
Hellbart. Okay.
Where do we sign? Jenny's going in the backpack. She said before. See, she's okay with that.
I'll go in the luggage. I'll go in the luggage. I'm too big for the backpack.
We'll put him in a trunk.
Nubsy, stop it, man. You lost a lot of weight, buddy. Seriously, congrats on that.
Not enough, but yes, I've lost about 40 pounds.
Hey,
that's awesome, man.
He's over 40 pounds lost since
nice.
January.
Congrats, man. Continue.
That's awesome, brother.
Yeah. So, sorry, Dakota, we cut you.
Oh, you're fine.
But yeah, you got any other places? Because they sound epic. Like Gettysburg, I didn't even think about that, but yes.
Not that I can think of at the moment.
Hey, man.
Hey, Mo. How's it going?
Fluffy and Jean.
Us? No. Well, me. I want to go to Dracula's castle in Gettysburg, but I'm going with Dakota, so that's set. But my number one dream location, and I have to take Dom because Dom was one of the only other people that would go to this.
No, that's Jen. You can't say that. No, you can't. It's my place.
I have to. I know.
No, please.
Okay, me and Dom are both going to. I'll only say part of it. It starts with a P, and it's in Italy. But that's been
Hell
my
yes.
dream location for forever. I've always wanted to go. For some reason, I have a strong desire to go to that island.
Jenny, you want to hear a story? That island, I saw it from 3 feet away.
Oh wow.
Because I do have family that are Italian, so when we went there young to see the family, we went on a trip on the boats and stuff, and with my cousins, I was drawn by the island because of the tower.
Yeah.
When I was young, so I wanted to see the tower like really close, and my uncle was like not having it. You know, he was in the water and go, "We can't go further. Oh, please, please go closer." No. People are afraid of that island.
Yeah.
The fishermen, the fishers that live not far from there, do not fish in that area. Okay, that island is. I'll let you finish. You can say it. I'll pick another one, but
no, I know it's. We all know it's your number one too. We've heard you say. Me and Don both. Our number one is we want to go to Poveglia.
Poveglia Island is it has a lot of history. It dates back to the 431 BC.
Mm-hmm. It's a plague dump island where they dumped plague bodies, and it was more.
It became a plague island, but way before that, it used to be a place. It was like a fort for the population that was there fighting the wars in 431. Then obviously it became a monastery, then a plague place for all kinds of not just the plague. It was for typhus, name all the diseases you could. They would send the people on the island to die.
Any place like that they wanted to quarantine, like they would send you there when you were still sick, and then they would even bury you before you died, like before your heart stopped. They
buried a lot of people alive.
Yeah, in the plague pits, and they said that the lore is the land is built on the ashes of the dead.
Half of the land, okay, because Poveglia Island became a bigger island with the ashes of the dead and stuff like that. That grew, so the island became way bigger than it was at the beginning.
Yeah,
and you can still walk presently if you go today. You can still walk on the ashes. And when they do excavations and stuff like that, they still find bodies in mass graves over there.
Wow.
It's crazy. But like I said, it was a place place. Then it became a sort of asylum.
Yeah.
And the doctor
used it for anything.
The doctor was doing a lot of crazy stuff.
Lobotomies, torture. They call it like the pit of hell, basically, or the entrance to hell.
Yeah, he went crazy. He went crazy. The doctor, so he jumped from the tower I was talking about. And a lot of stuff. And you were talking about Hell Pit. It's funny. I know a lot of people don't like that guy, but Ghost Adventures, Zach Bagan, when the original crew was there, they went there, and the first thing he says, starting the TV show, you know, he's talking about the island, and when they come on the island, the first thing he says, "Welcome to hell."
Yeah.
Wow.
It's intense. Like, so that's been, I know that sounds like most people would be like, hell no. But for me, for some reason, I have a draw to that. And then my next there's this location we're actually going to go to. We're going to do the Whaley House. You know, an actual private investigation of the Whaley House. Before, you couldn't do them. You had to be like bonded, and you had to be a publicized television syndicate to be able to go and do this because of the original or the ownership at that time. Now that they've transferred ownership, now they're finally offering the investigations after May 18th. So
that's cool.
That's a big plan for us. I've lived in San Diego my whole life, so it's always been like, dude, I just want to like be in there at 3 a.m. You know, they've had private events there. Don't get it twisted. They have, but it's like I said, you're $1 million bonded. You're this, and like they had rules. and it just wasn't in the cards for me to do that. It's not cheap. It's $100 an hour per person, but it's got a price tag. It is San Diego, but living 40 minutes away from it, most of my life, it's
You
always
have
been like,
to.
it's always been my dream. So I'm excited to finally do that.
That's a must. Yeah, like you said, you're living. It's like in your backyard.
Right,
so
a prophecy right there.
Ooh, that's a good one to see.
It's the best. Ashima. Was that Ashima?
Yeah, Ashima Island.
Yeah, Ashima Island. That's pretty creepy too. But
hey, thank you, GOTHGIRL.
Well, thank you for the Ashima. You just gave me my my other
dream look.
Since Jen took mine, but
I'll let you keep that other one. I know where you're trying to go, so you can't keep. I want to go there too, but I'll let you.
Okay, so let's do something. Since we're going to Pavogolia, we'll go there, and Fluffy, you can come too.
Hey,
we'll take everybody.
How about we all just
hop on?
How about we all just go to Suicide Forest together, y'all?
Well, there you stole the
Nubsy. Thank you. Thank you again.
I'm sorry.
But that, and I do want to go to, and Fluff told me I can't go to this one, but I want to go to Huckamuck Swamp.
Oh,
and I was like, I want to go, and he told me no.
Why?
Because he said, he goes, it's a bad energy, and I'm like, well, no shit, that's why we want to go, right? But yeah, Huckamuck Swamp. Those are my tops that come to my mind automatically when people are like, "If you could go anywhere, where would you go?"
Wow.
Diva, tag, you're it.
So I'm gonna.
Wait, no, Fluff's it.
Oh yeah, Fluffy.
Yeah,
Fluffy.
So now, Nubsy, you took my other one, so yeah, I still have a couple.
I've never been to these places yet. Other people may have, and I know it's probably like overdone or overseen, but not for me. The Winchester Mansion, Alcatraz, Waverly Hills Sanatorium.
Yes.
And where else?
Where is that swamp?
Huckamuck Swamp.
I think that's the top 3 at the moment. Huckamuck Swamp, I'll find it. It's in the Bridgewater Triangle in Massachusetts.
Ask Fluff what he calls Huckamuck Swamp.
No, I don't need to say it on.
Hang on,
they're all adults here. They can.
Yeah, I know.
He calls it hop on a cock swamp. And we broke the chat.
I mean, it happens.
It would for you, Nubs. In the swamp too, in night vision.
Oh, ooh, Nubs in the swamp and night vision.
But yeah, the more I hear about that place, the more I'm like, I want to go.
So it says about the swamp. Trying to just get to the main point of it because it's like it says it's the chief of death and disease. A place where spirits dwell, obviously. It's the bathing suit.
Yep, this is getting weird at the family reunion while we're at the beach, by the way.
Nubs' chicken unicorn costume.
The natives of the region placed a higher value on the swamp for centuries.
Well, I know it's got Native American tie back and energy and stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that part sounds really epic.
It's a native type place. It's they say it's where the devil. It's like where the devil, it's composed of human souls of the dead. Was known as.
What's that? Congregate in areas. Souls of the dead was known to congregate in the areas like the Huckamuck. So it's got all kinds of, anything with tribal and Indian stuff, it's going to give it to you if you go there. So you will have a story.
Like Shani.
There you go. Exactly. But yeah, so when I told Fluff I wanted to go, he was like, no, I guess he had been in the around areas, and there's somebody he met that watches this channel that has a home right there on the like property of it, and they're like, oh, you can get to it through our backyard just anytime you want to investigate. And I was
For
like,
real?
oh, do tell. Yeah.
Oh my
And
god.
he was like, so I have an in to go investigate it, but he like, I guess locally, I'm not a local, he is. They say it's just nothing to, mess with. So
Well, not only that, but it's really difficult to get to because you have to find a place to park. The main road, there's no side, like there's no gravel or dirt for you to park on the side of the road. Plus, if you do, you'll get your car or truck towed, so it's not worth it.
So he's like, it's never really been worth it, but this person offered him that in to be able to do it, and I was like, we should go do it, because back when it wasn't, before tarot showed up, his best friend, Greg, Supernatural Life, him and Fluff would go filming all over the place, and they were a pretty cool duo together. You guys should go check out some of that stuff. Real shameless plug. But I guess they were gonna either try to go or
in Mass it's over, but technically right now it's still his birthday.
Oh, okay. Well, we should have told him happy birthday. But anyway, so they had an indigo film there, and so I was like, I want to go. It sounds cool. And he's like, no, he won't let me. But oh well, I'll go without you. I'll go visit everybody. You stay here then.
That definitely does sound like an awesome place, though.
Now it's Steve's turn.
Tag in.
That was funny how you said Alcatraz, because that's one of my places that I want to go. There's also the Kings Park Asylum that's in Kings Park, New York. My son went there and with his friends, and he brought something home, which that was a cleansing in itself. But they used to burn the bodies. They used to do lobotomies and all that. He said that he saw a shelf with brains on them, like in jars. And it was just, they had the table where they did the electric shock, because back then they didn't know about mental illness. They didn't know what was wrong with these people. They're possessed or whatever. So they did all kinds of things. And there was a children's ward, and he could have swore he heard a child laugh. And that's what he brought back. Because when he came back, I was like, I sensed a child spirit near him. And he was like, yeah, Ma, I kept, hearing this. But I definitely want to go there, because he said there was a lot of activity, and there's still bones in the incinerator in the basement. So, yeah, he says there was a lot of like dread, like a lot of, he did a spirit box, and he got someone saying, I'm drowning. So when he went down, there was like something that looked like a bathtub, and he wasn't sure like what it was used for, because the place has been closed for like since 1991. So everything's all over the place, So I'm wondering if someone was drowned there, but he said that we're probably going to go in July, but that's going to be a good place because my son got a lot of activity there. And then I'm going to try to see about Alcatraz, because I think they just they closed that after COVID. And there's also another prison, which is in Attica, New York. But I'm not sure if that's reopened as well. But that is a prison that has to have activities. People got killed. They had murderers. It was crazy. But I'm still investigating and still looking up places. So, those are my places that are on my bucket list. And I'm definitely going to try to go there, So that's just basically it. I'm still a newbie. I'm still a baby in this. But I can't wait till the 8th to go to Old Hospital. I can't wait.
Oh, that's going to be an epic.
Oh my God.
Video.
This week is going to go by so slow. It's actually 15 days. I'm like, yeah. And I like collabing with people. Like that's my first collab, I'm like psyched right now, So
Oh, we'll collab one day.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yep.
Dommy.
Okay, since Poboglia's not there, which is my number one, Suicide Forest in Japan would be my second. I'm gonna go go back with a little bit with Dakota said. I'm gonna go back to Romania to the witch forest in Romania.
Ooh.
Are you jumping in the bag?
I'm jumping in the bag.
I'm never leaving the bag. I don't know what you're talking
about. That would be a good place, but I would say any place to investigate a cemetery, whatever you can find history. I'm down. I'm down to investigate. I love history. I love the history, and when you investigate and you can put both together, you know, take back a piece of history back and just relate it with a proof or stuff like that. That's so amazing. So
yeah,
there's a lot of places, asylums. One thing I haven't done, and this is one of my dreams, is to go to a morgue.
Oh yeah,
coming to my work.
I would love to find and investigate.
I will say this one. If and when. Well, we still in the mortuary field that I'm in. We still have a lot of restrictions right now because of what. The virus we shall not name. But once that finally lessens up, I will be throwing a Halloween party at the funeral home.
Seriously?
Yes. I was doing that when I first got into the mortuary aspect of my job. When I was no longer working for the medical examiner, when I was actually working in an old funeral home that was about 120 years old, they used to throw an annual Halloween party. They would just make sure that all of the decedents were not on the location. We would take them to the other funeral home. And there was one area that we would, because we do throw like catering and stuff at funerals. So we do have an eatery area. Well, that one did. And so what they did was they would host a Halloween party, and they would, the funeral directors would all talk about our experiences. So we called it a night with the spirits.
Nice.
And we would do that until a bunch of people in the community kind of got pissed about it because they're like, oh, that's disrespectful. And I was like, it is not disrespectful. We're actually letting people know that this stuff is not as scary. And it was like an open house for the funeral home. People got to come in and they got to see it, not everywhere, but just like the chapels and stuff like that. And we would sit and we would invite people to come and have dinner. And there would be certain beer and wine and stuff like that. And they got to enjoy these stories and kind of hang out with us. And it raised awareness for the establishments and other mortuaries that were needing budget to, fix things in their mortuaries and stuff. Cause it's not as big as a money-making business as people assume. But at my funeral home, there's a lot more space for me to do things, and I would not do it as an open event. It would be for my friends and my people, and be like, go ahead and come on over. We'll literally spend the night in the funeral home. I'll give people that open opportunity to do that once restrictions are much more limited.
So cool.
I'll even let people go to the.
But like I said, the morgue thing. That's something. Since I'm young, it has always been drawn to funeral parlors or stuff like that. But I always wanted to see a morgue, and since I'm in paranormal and stuff, I would like to be able to sleep in the morgue.
Oh, that would be nice.
I've slept in plenty of them. It's not as cool as it sounds.
No, it's not, Jen. It's not for the coolness or stuff. It's how can I explain it?
You're living out something you've wanted to do.
Yeah, it's a personal experience. It's not to, and even I'm not talking about doing a video or recording. Well, obviously, I'll maybe have a recorder, but not not to make a video. Say, hey, I slept in the morgue. I'm so hot. It's just a personal thing.
Yeah.
And yeah.
When I lived in the funeral home, I lived in there for 6 months. I lived. My two daughters can tell you about it. They lived with mom in a funeral home. First, I spent was 24 hours a day. I was there. They went to school, but mom was always there. I worked there. I slept there. Because most older funeral homes have the attached apartments because the funeral director would live on premise. Not so much anymore. It's not so much like that anymore.
We have one not far from here. Actually, we have one. Like you're saying here, it's about maybe 10 15 minutes from us. And well, the funeral parlor is down and the apartments are right on top of like the whole thing.
Yeah. Ours was technically in the basement.
Well, I saw that too. Another place in Montreal, they do have it's an old place. It's an old building. It's from the late 1800s, beginning of 1900s. So the apartments are in the basements. Hey, Laura, how's it going? The apartments are, like you said, are actually in the basement next to the ramp where the trucks arrive.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, it's because you need to wake up and let transport in to bring the drop offs. I used to do that. We now have a night security that does it, even if we can keep him there because they keep quitting on us. But it's an old.
I'll come there and work.
The one
that's it. Seriously, I saw the ad the other day, and I was about to say I want to apply.
If it's your, I always tell people to be in that type of business, it has to kind of be your calling. And when people are like, "Oh, I only have to do this, and I'm going to make this much," that's fine. That's nothing. But then they're like, it plays with your head a little bit. If you're afraid of it, it'll play with your head a little bit.
Not at all. I like sleeping in cemeteries and asylums. So
yeah, and I tell people, like, you have to be of a proper mindset for it. And I explained that to them when I hired them on. I was like, if you're skittish, you'll get scared. And people are like, no, I can sober myself up. I'll be fine. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll try you out. And then it's like, they'll hear something. And because they're in a funeral home, they're at a mortuary there. It plays with their head. And I'm like, you probably didn't hear what you thought you heard. And they're like, well, you're used to it, ma'am. So, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm not telling you what you did and didn't see. Okay. Because I don't ever tell people I work with that I, go on investigations and stuff, because some people just aren't okay with it, So I don't ever tell people like, well, come on, I do this for fun, but because I don't want to desensitize anybody of what they experienced either. If it's not for you, it's not for you, and that's okay. But there's some people that are like, no, I'm totally fine here. The gentleman we had before, he was like, he retired. He was 68 years old. He was amazing. He just didn't care if he saw something or he experienced something. He thought it was kind of cool. So he's like, they can't hurt me.
I would be the same, and maybe a little bit too zealous. I would go through and go see the noise. Where is it coming from? What is it? So
yeah. And that's the thing. They're supposed to go check on noises, like your security. You're supposed to go and check and make sure it's not someone doing graffiti, because we've had a history of that. Oh, I'm trying to steal the funeral coach or the hearse, things like that, because people will try to steal those. People love to steal them for real. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
People think they want to break into, like, see bodies or something. I've had to call the police and have people arrested before, but it was never for something like that. They've tried stealing, because we have in our back shedded areas where we do the engraving on our our things that we hold cremated remains in. We do in-house engraving. So we have a stash of, like, the wooden boxes or the urns or anything like that. They'll try to break in and steal those and sell them online. Wow. Because somebody told them what was going on back there, and so they try to break in and steal those because they think, oh, I can sell them for $200-300.
Oh my
whatever.
God.
So they'll try. We've had problems with that. We've had problems with graffiti. We've had problems with people trying to steal the hearse because they think nobody's there. So we've installed cameras and stuff, so we do catch it. But when the guard is supposed to check when they hear things, because we want to stop it from keeping occurring. So we want to stop these people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be too afraid to go do that. They'll be like, oh my God, that's right back by the door where the freezers are. So I can't, oh my gosh, it's a dead body. And I was like, seriously? They're on ice, dude. They're not getting up. Like, I promise you that. It's creepy. I get it. But just go check, because the person that's doing the problem is not one of the decedents. I promise you that.
Yeah, it's just some troublemaker.
Yeah. And so that's usually what it is. But yeah, they'll try to. People are weird, especially, and I hate to say this, but since when I found out about Randonautica was when somebody was randoed a location, it took them to my funeral home.
Oh,
and they were scared more than anything, but they were trying to get a video out of it. And so I opened the back door, and I'm in my, I was embalming at the time, but we didn't have an active security guard. So I ran out the back door, and I've got a whole, jumpsuit on and everything. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And it's these like 13, 14-year-olds, and they screamed,
oh my
ran
God.
into a wall, all kinds of stuff. And I was like, no, stay right here. And they're like, dude, we're not doing anything. We're not doing anything.
Aww.
We're literally playing this game. And I was like, what game? And they're like, they showed me. That's how I discovered what Randonautica was.
Oh God!
Oh,
and I was like, that's kind of cool.
But I would like to have seen those two kids just like when
that was
shouted,
great.
hey, what are you doing there? They must have
traumatized.
They
were like
have poop for pants.
Well, I mean, most people don't know what an embalmer looks like, and you're most specifically not thinking someone's going to pop out of the back of a funeral home at 2:00 in the morning. But at the time, I was living there, so I just heard some people like talking and like moving a door handle, and I like slammed it. I opened it because on my side, when I'm in there, I can just open it at any time. The outside is always locked, and so when I slammed it open, like my intent was to scare the shit out of them so they wouldn't keep coming back. And so when I did that, I realized that they were really young kids in a really bad area of town. And I was like, you guys should not be out here. This is not safe for you. Like, why are you out here? And I just wanted to scare them a little bit, because I don't want people messing around back there. And then when they told me what they were doing, I was like, what are you even talking about? You have something that sent you here? And they're like, yeah, it's like you put an intent and it takes you to a place, and our intent was something scary and it took us here. And I was like, well, I hope you got what you wanted. But yeah, that was my first experience with Randonautica, and it actually took them to a funeral home. That was crazy. But yeah, they're like, we're never playing this again, and da, 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 da. I don't know if they ever did or not, but it was funny.
Yeah.
Oh man, that would have been But a couple not notable mentions or whatever you call them. You got the White House. The White House is one place that if I was president,
Lincoln,
I would open up the White House for all my paranormal friends for free.
Miss Mary, Lincoln,
the underground tunnels.
There's a lot of stuff.
They can say there's no such thing, but there's underground tunnels there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Well, it's
you can drive. You can drive a car in them.
Ooh, yeah, we need to get there. We'll just break in the White House. I'm just kidding, government. We're not breaking.
Okay, yeah. Good luck with that.
Good luck, Nubsy. I'll send you. I'll send you oranges.
Our stream's gonna get cut now. Oh no!
If I'm in prison in the morning, y'all know why I need bail money.
The Men in Black came and got him. No, that Colorado airport that has the underground tunnels and stuff. No. Mm-hmm. That's another cool one. I would love to be able to go and do that. That's another one.
Yeah.
I want to get to Disney World. Investigate Disney World.
Apparently, there is some type of activity over there.
Yeah, people dump cremated remains on the rides all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff. What?
Yeah. Well, people out there. Some people. Let's say you Nubs.
Face.
Yeah, hold on, Nubs. Let's say you you
He
pass
really loves
away,
Small World.
and you loved Disney, and you would say to your wife, when I die, spread my ashes
At
in
Disney World.
Disneyland.
But
People
what about
go.
the poor people that get the ashes on them?
That's what I'm
No,
saying.
they'll do it. They don't do it like that. They'll do it on a ride, and like as the ride's going, they'll kind of sneak
Yeah,
it out of the side.
they'll
Yeah.
drop some on the
People
side.
will.
So all, if you go seriously, if you
I
go
knew
next
that
to the
too.
rides, you'll find some dust that's not
wow.
really
Yeah.
sand.
Especially like at the Haunted Mansion ride and
Yeah,
stuff.
they
They're
have a
all over the
special.
place.
They have a special code word or code for cleaning up the remains and stuff. So people think like, oh, they're just gonna stay on there. Like, no, Disney goes and they clean those rides regularly, so they're not gonna stay there. I know people that have dumped remains on like Pirates of the Caribbean because it's a water ride, or in front of the castle and the moats because it's water. It's gonna stay there longer. But they really don't like you to do that. So don't do that.
I could tell you, I
Imagine.
know somebody that's buried underneath some plants in Disney.
That's exciting.
Interesting. What, the one in Florida or
Yeah,
California?
in Florida.
If you get cremated, I'm gonna bury some of your ashes under some plants.
I'm cool with that. Make
With
sure
a pot
that
plant.
yeah. So when people get high, they smoke a little
He's
nub.
over there buried at the Polynesian under a pot plant.
People get high, smoke a dub.
That's the nub bub right there.
Yeah.
That's the good stuff right there. Like,
He's got an alligator getting high as hell right there.
yeah, Matthew, you can come up. I'll be live for another like
Matthew,
10 minutes, maybe.
bring Matt up. We miss him.
I sent
Hey,
you the link, didn't I,
Matt.
Matt? I think I sent you the link. My phone's charging right now.
Night
Yeah.
submit.
I did. I sent him the link. Cool.
Yeah, I want to do. Like I said, I want to do a lot of, well, any place that's haunted. I want to investigate. I want to go there. I want to learn the history, the history of the people that passed away, that was living there, and stuff like that. But like I said, I would be willing, have the budget. I would be traveling the world to different.
That's the thing, is the money. There isn't a place I probably wouldn't go, but it's the money.
Yeah, it's and first of all, it's so expensive to travel. Yeah, so
Yeah. The way gas is getting now, it's ridiculous.
it was crazy. I've been at the beginning of March. I was in I went to in the States, so I was traveling. I started paying gas. It was something like $2.85 a gallon. Once I got to California, it was almost $7 a gallon. I was going like, what the hell is going on? Yeah.
Yeah, you out of a paper bag.
What's up, family?
What's up, Matt?
Hey, Matt.
Hey, sis.
You were saying, Jen?
I said at those prices, you're eating out of like the vending machine every meal. You can't afford to eat with those gas prices.
Seriously, about $6, almost $6 out here in New York. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I think our gas,
nuts.
our gas is finally like 5 something now in California at some places.
Our gas here in Quebec is extremely pricey. We don't pay by gallon here. We pay by liter.
Wow. Yeah, that's right. I remember
So
hearing
it's this morning. This morning that when I left, I stopped at the gas station. It was $1.85, $1.85 a liter. So you have to make almost three times and a half that price to have a price of gallon here. So
that is true, Z.
Yeah, they
do. Say as soon as people find out that the belated all buildings or locations are energy. Yeah, that's another thing too. A lot of people will say they're open to paranormal groups to come and investigate, but they'll charge you an arm, a leg, a kidney, and
I know,
and a feet.
Fingers.
I was looking at Trans Allegheny. and just for us to go, it would be almost $1,200.
Yeah.
Those they went up almost the double of price since the TV shows have hit those places. The prices went.
If Ghost Adventures has been there, if Ghost Hunters has been there, it goes up like double.
Yeah.
Except I'm lucky. The place I was talking about, the place I like to investigate, the Cornwall prison. The TV show with Jason and Ghost Hunters, Taps.
Yeah. Taps.
Oh,
They did only 3 places here in Canada. 2 places are in Ontario, Canada, and 1 place is in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I did the 2 places here in Canada, which is Cornwall Prison and the Fort Henry. The other place I've never been yet to. Well, I've been to Manitoba, but not that place. So,
See, that's why y'all just come with me out into the wilderness, and y'all don't have to spend any money, and y'all can come hunt Bigfoot with me.
Hey, I'm down.
I'm down.
Matt,
It's my bathing suit, Kathy.
Matt, you can't hunt for me. I'm right here.
No, he said Bigfoot, not big butt.
Oh.
Yeah, not big ass.
Fluffy, I'll bring you with me to go hunt chupacabra.
The family reunion, Nubs.
Huh?
That was your costume for the week.
It was actually my Halloween costume that Fluffy and Jenny got me.
No, I'm asking, are you gonna wear that?
I'm wearing
He's going
shorts
to the
underneath
beach.
it. I'm wearing
He's gonna wear
shorts
that to a
underneath it, of
public
course.
restaurant.
He has to wear it because his boys will show if he does it.
Oh, I'll wear it in a restaurant with y'all too when we're out in public.
Oh God, no!
I
If he
will
was
be.
in Vegas, he'd make money. I swear to God, he'd make money
People would be paying him $20.
because all he has to do is say he's the chicken unicorn guy from YouTube, and he would get people paying him for pictures. Like, no joke.
I think
Once you wear that thing, you ain't gonna leave Carolina without a girl. I'll tell you that now.
A
With the
girl,
girl
a man, we don't
or
know
without
what
a
you'll
girl?
leave with something.
You're gonna leave with someone. I can guarantee that.
Or something.
Hey, I mean,
Nubs is my girl tonight. Nobody else is taking Nubs.
Uh-oh, Matthews claimed you.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
my nipples
He
are
wants
hard
a
thinking
nub
about
rub.
it,
I always get the VIP nub rub.
Extra vanilla scent.
Look at the Eagles, y'all. We're gonna get Devo
Oh,
Sanders.
baby.
We're
He
gonna get
keeps trying
Devo
to take
Sanders.
Debo. He's trying to steal my Debo.
We need Devo.
Eagles
I'm
suck.
out there.
Who do you like, Diva?
Huh?
Who do you like in football, Diva?
Oh, I like the Jets.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Even
Uh,
worse.
She's New York. Come on, guys.
At least it ain't the
Even
Cowboys.
What the
I go
Nubsy,
with the Giants and the Jets. Like,
Nubsy, stop it. Stop.
At least it ain't the Commanders either.
Okay, shut up now.
That's even worse.
Don't
That's
talk
even
Dakota's
worse.
gonna come through
Don't
the
talk
screen.
about my Commanders now. We're
Oh, Dakota, you're a commander?
yeah.
Woo.
Unfortunately.
Okay, so we have almost a section of the division.
We do got the division. We got the Giants, the Eagles, the Commanders, and the Cowgirls.
You forgot the chicken heads.
And then we got the $40, the
Yep.
Patriots, and another Eagle fan right there.
Or as Dom calls them, the chicken heads.
Matt, are you telling me you're a chicken head fan?
my sister's a Patriot fan.
Wait, what?
Fluff's a Patriot fan.
Fluffy is saying.
Aren't you
not
an
Fluffy,
Eagle
sorry,
fan?
Nubsy is saying you're an Eagle fan.
I used to like pro football before, people started growing their hair out and becoming overpriced sissies.
No, you've been targeted.
I feel targeted right there.
You're a suspect now.
That's a little.
I know what he's talking about.
I mean,
but I know what you mean.
know,
They are crybabies. Like,
yeah.
I mean, you know, even the third, even the third string will make more money than any of us will see in our lifetime. So I don't.
Oh, yeah.
I can't support them. I just can't.
And
I
that's
feel that.
Yep.
I mean, that's like all sports. All of them get paid ridiculous. Like,
yeah,
stupid.
The water boys make more money than all of us do.
I know.
So,
right.
Nubs is going to be a cowgirl cheerleader this coming season. He's going to buy us all a house.
I probably will at the reunion, knowing Amy and them.
Oh God.
Because they have to know. I have to get pied in the face by the women at the reunion because of Family Feud game, and the women get to dress me up any way they want because I lost to Family Feud. No makeup though, lipstick. No makeup, or I'll paint my nails, but I don't do eyeshadow, makeup, lipstick. I don't do none of that.
Hey, I do. I do makeup and
Nubs, I will
eyeshadow.
make you look like RuPaul in a heartbeat.
Oh my God.
Jen, I want a picture, please.
I will do it for the day.
David Bowie, 1970.
I'm down for that. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that.
Fierce.
I'll take David Bowie. I'll be the freaking Goblin King for a day. I'm down.
You know what? He would too, because we're both down for Goblin King. So.
Oh man!
I want somebody to make me look like the devil from Legend.
Oh, Darkness, yeah.
Yeah, Darkness.
Matt, I would ask you your favorite place you investigated, but it's probably the place where we seen the Phantom Cat on your live stream that one time.
Your bedroom?
Oh, Skull Creek. Yeah,
no, that's his bedroom.
Always my bedroom.
My bedroom. Hey, Marianne. Matt's always in my bedroom. Mm-hmm.
Always in the closet.
Rocky Horror Party, yes.
Hey, I would do it. I would do that in a heartbeat. Put me in some pumps, and yeah, I'll be Dr. Frankenfurker.
Frankenfucker, what?
Yeah, that one.
Oh my God.
What's Matt? That's just Dr. Frankenfucker over there. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. Or I'd just do Rocky.
Nubs can be Riff Raff. He can be the butler. He can wait for the candy man.
I like being the butler. Can I wear my sexy butler outfit?
Of course.
I would look good in my maid outfit. Mm-hmm. Now, for real, not the past 3 years, but the last 3 years I went trick-or-treating. I dressed up as a woman, and I got candy. And I was like 18, 19, and 20 when I did it. So
I thought you were going trick-or-treating with me this year.
I will. I want to, but it's illegal.
We're gonna be the Teletubbies, remember?
Can I be the purple one?
Teletubbies are evil.
Yeah, so when people call us demons, they'll know for sure they are.
Can I be the purple Teletubby?
My kids
every day
watch Teletubbies. Mm-mm.
I don't know their names, but as long as we don't dress up like the Wiggles, I'm cool.
Oh God, no!
I had to watch that with my nephews.
Please don't dress up as the freaking Wiggles.
Fruit salad.
What was that other show? Was that the Wiggles with the guy that had the orange outfit and he had the little weird friends?
Yes.
Is that the Wiggles?
Yeah. I think so. Oh.
Can I dress up as Steve from Blue's Clues?
Can I dress up as Blue's Clues?
Steve. What's that other one that no one liked? The one that replaced Steve?
Oh,
Joe.
Joe. Yeah.
Dom's gonna be Joe.
Oh God.
I want to be like the psychotic.
I used to watch Blue's Clues when I was younger.
I have no clue. Okay.
I want to dress up as Barney.
Oh God, not Barney.
No, Barney's little chick friend, the little green girl, the little green dinosaur.
Belly Bop.
There you go.
Yeah.
Baby Bop.
Baby Bop, yeah. Belly Bop.
I never watched Barney.
Hey, I used to watch Barney all the time.
I watch Barney so much.
Oh my God.
I have nightmares.
V, really? Of course you would know it. Can I be Pooh? Or Poop or Pooh?
Oh, it was Poe.
Poe? No, I want to be Tinky Winky.
She's gonna be Tinky Winky.
I'm Tinky Winky.
Okay, so hold on. Let's see if we can remember the colors. So
I don't know the colors of none of them.
Tinky Winky was purple.
Be right back. I'm gonna go get my third sip cup coffee. I'll be right back.
Wasn't Poe red?
I think so.
Yeah, I think Poe was red. Yeah.
So, okay, so Tinky Winky was purple. Poe was red. Lala was yellow. So Dipsy must have been green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Okay, we all graduated. We're good.
No, you know what? We're gonna dress up as the freaking Power Rangers. I call the red Power Ranger.
Yeah, one of the Power Rangers
I'm Rocky.
is in prison for murder. No, it's okay.
What color was that?
Yellow one.
Yeah, Trina. No, Trina's the one that died. Yeah, Trina's the one that died. The one that replaced Trina.
The guy that looks.
Oh, the guy. See, I don't know nothing about
that was the red one. No.
No, the guy that looks like Chinese a little bit.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Wasn't he the white one?
Tommy?
Yeah, Tommy.
Tommy's on MMA and all that.
White. He ended up being white, but
I think he was the Green Ranger.
Yeah, he was green, white, red, black.
The yellow one's in prison for murder. He killed his mother with a saber. He was going crazy, and he was trying to do an exercise on that.
That was one of the Galaxy Rangers or something. I don't know nothing about any of them. Yeah, he was one of the
spin-off ones.
Yeah, he was one of the spin-off Power Rangers. He wasn't one of the originals. I don't know nothing about none of them but the original. That's the only one I watched.
Remember when every girl wanted to be the Pink Ranger?
Kimberly, yeah.
She was cute though. You gotta admit, she was cute.
She don't do much no more.
I liked Billy.
The blue one?
Yeah.
Yeah, Billy was good. Rocky was my favorite. The second Red Ranger.
They had who's the black guy?
Zach was badass. Yeah. And then they had Adam replace him.
Yeah.
Adam did a lot of anime voices apparently after Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Shady's back? Oh, MCAT's back. That's Shady.
Man, we were like, y'all must have been babies when Power Rangers was out.
I was 1994 or 3 was the first season, and I was 2 or 3 when it started.
Can you imagine that Fluff wasn't even born when the Power Rangers came out?
I was.
Yes, that's
Ricardo Medina. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say he was Galaxy Rangers or Space or something like.
He was another subsidiary spinoff. I think. I don't know. I remember the original one. That's all I remember.
The original movie too? Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the movie was pretty good.
Which the newer movie wasn't bad. I just wish they would have came out with the second part because at the end of it they showed Jason or JDF or not JDF but Tommy.
So we went from haunted location to the Power Rangers.
Hey, it took an hour to get off script, so that's cool.
But we were done with the script.
Yeah. Now it's just BS. But yeah, Power Rangers is definitely. I remember the D&D game we had.
Yeah, the guy Ricardo was sentenced in 2017.
Yeah, I want to know what Ranger he was. Hang on.
I'm gonna be a Ninja Turtle. I used to watch me some Ninja Turtles when I was little. That was before the Power Rangers.
My favorite is Leonardo. I like him.
He was the red. His role. He was Cole. He was the red one. Wild Force Rangers.
Wild Force, yeah. See, Wild Force sucked anyway.
Oh yeah.
So.
And later Derek as half human course Night Block in Power Ranger Samurai. So he played in Samurai and Wild Force.
See, Samurai was actually good. I actually didn't mind Samurai, but Wild Force was stupid. I hated it. The only good thing about Wild Force, you remember the original...
Fluffy and Jen are gone?
Zanaku from Wild Force was my hero.
It was Fluff's fault.
Was it?
I thought you were gone. I came back. I went to see and I didn't see you. So I said, "Oh, they're gone." I didn't hear them
me and I left.
leave.
Wasn't Wild Force the one where Rita Rapunzel turned as the good girl, the good person instead of the bad guy? Or I can't remember.
Yeah, I think.
I don't know. I just know when you said Wild Force, there was Zanaku, the black wolf ranger, like that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I made a cosplay, and I made that whole entire costume and everything out of leather and roofing tin, and went to cosplay and won. Yeah.
Is that a troll?
Who's being a troll?
Who's a troll?
The troll.
I don't know.
Me, I'm always a troll.
I'm talking maybe about a fantasy fiend.
Oh,
I don't see it.
Stupid computer. But yeah,
guess who's back again? It's the Asshole Man.
Asshole Man?
Yeah, gosh, I haven't seen Asshole Man.
Oh yeah, fantasy fiend. He's going, "What's up, assholes?" So that's Asshole Man.
Oh, wow, there's another Louisa.
Cal.
Hey, Lisa, how's it going?
Colin?
That's the Asshole Man. Colin, where's Colin at? Hey, huh.
I haven't seen Colin in forever.
Yeah, no joke. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
I'm over here looking for him. Huh.
What's up, asshole?
Yep.
No, it's not Kaylin.
It says,
who are you then? If it's not Kaylin, who is it?
No, it's Colin. Because she asked if it's a troll, and he said, no, it's Colin.
He takes a minute to type, so.
Yeah.
What's up,
I know.
What's up?
I haven't seen him in a mad time. Seriously.
But about what, a year?
Almost.
Yeah.
About, huh? What's up, bro?
Our favorite asshole.
Yeah, he cut you guys. For those that don't know, his name on when we would do panels was always Asshole Man.
Yeah,
and that's just he calls us his assholes. So.
You're not bluesy. I have to fix that. YouTube must have took you.
Because you're an asshole, you're a good person.
Yeah.
Cool.
And he's a big sweetheart, you guys. So no, not a troll, not at all.
Oh, you're not.
Citizen's not a troll either.
Shoot, Citizen used to be a mod. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, you both of y'all are mods now because y'all fan, of course. But yeah, Power Rangers, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like the original.
I like
the
Powerpuff Girls.
It's been a hot asshole minute. It's better than a cold asshole.
My daughter.
Look, Sailor Moon. Like anybody watch Sailor Moon?
Oh man,
I watched Sailor Moon before you were born.
Pluto. Pluto was my girl
all the time, and I hated it.
What about Captain Planet? Anybody watch Captain Planet?
No.
I've never seen it.
Hero.
I always wanted to be Wheeler.
I watched Captain Planet.
I've never even heard of it that much.
I know the theme song.
Captain Planet? It
Where
was big in the 90s.
Down to zero.
That was my shit growing up.
Yeah.
Dude, I was like 8 years old watching Liquid Television on MTV late at night.
Oh yeah.
MTV.
Where are the
Miss Liquid.
Where
that was when MTV was good.
Yep.
Yeah, now TV sucks.
Yep.
Only thing
I
I
haven't
watch,
seen TV in 10 years.
only thing I watch is football. I watch like
I'm sorry.
wrestling. I watch like AEW and WWE. Hey, Mama JoJo. And I watch like Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, Blue Bloods, and stuff like that. But
I'll be back in 2 seconds, guys. I have to.
If you shake it off more than 3 times, you're playing with it.
Yeah, I'll wash my hands too.
Hey, Raid Maple, I hadn't seen you. Good, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. All the new people coming in. JoJo, you better be a mod too. Okay. YouTube be taking mods away.
Oh,
well, glad.
What are we talking about tonight, y'all? Except for Box of Random.
We were talking about our favorite locations we've investigated and our dream location to investigate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I love y'all, but I'm not a paranormal person.
Well, what about places you'd want to just go? Favorite places you've been and places you'd want to
Cryptid
go?
hunting. Your favorite cryptid, or you want to investigate cryptid?
My favorite place that I've ever been was my favorite place I've ever been was the FDA farm on the Mexico border. Hello. But that was where I went and did my chupacabra hunting, and that place was a goat farm, and me and my group and everything, we got a call from the FDA farm to come down there because they had a goat that was laying on its side, had 2 puncture holes in its jugular vein, and
I remember that.
Yeah, and we went down there. We cut the goat open, checked it for any traces of blood. There was nothing in it, but it was still alive, still breathing, and trying to run.
Oh.
And it was still. It was more in a trance than anything else, but it had 2-inch puncture holes into its jugular vein, and it had suction cup marks on its stomach, like something jumped on it from behind and held on underneath its stomach and was drinking it dry.
Hi, Becky.
And we spent 3 days out there. We got a lot of video footage and everything, but at that time I didn't know how to upload it. Now that I know the magic of video making now, I'm going to upload it and put it on my channel. But I don't know if YouTube's going to take it down because
like they did the rabbit one. Like they did the rabbit one.
Yeah.
Rabbit got thrown by your car.
That would be cool.
That was intense.
PETA had something.
That would be cool to see the video of the goat, but like you said, I don't know if YouTube's gonna let it go through.
Night DNK.
But that was my favorite place. But I want to go to what's called Yakima, the Yakima Caves in Yakima, Washington, and it's supposed to be like a 78 to 100 mile deep cave that goes straight down, and every third full moon it shoots a gigantic black beam of light out of it. And it was also the area that Stephen King got the idea for Pet Cemetery, because the owner of the land, the people around would always throw dead animals into this hole, and the animals would always come back alive. And so I don't know. I want to go out there and I want to like spend a week out there and investigate it, because there's a lot of cryptid sightings out there. There's a lot of UFO sightings and, you know, supernatural sightings out there. And I'd like to go out there.
See, I'm glad you said something about cryptids and UFOs, because that's going to be the next Paranormal 101. And we're going to talk about...
Matt should be on panel for that.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to talk to him. But we're going to talk about how cryptids and aliens and UFOs tie in with paranormal, too. That's next episode.
All of it's tied together. It's not all one, but everything... Like cryptids. Cryptids are natural creatures. They have more heightened senses and everything. Kind of like how basic domesticated animals have heightened senses around cryptids and spiritual and supernatural occurrences.
Yeah, that's children.
But, you know, like, there's some things that are far-fetched with cryptids that have been doctored because of internet and everything. But a lot of cryptids stay around known ley lines. And ley lines, from the beginning of man, ley lines have always had a gateway. A lot of our ancestors, you know, before we became quote unquote civilized, when we were more in tune with nature and elements around us, we were able to see through the veil, and we were able to communicate with these creatures and other beings and stuff. But since technology and everything has advanced so much that we have lost all of our known abilities that we used to have. So we don't really have a connection with the planet anymore. But usually spirits, supernatural occurrences, stuff like that, happen around uninhabited areas. A lot of it. Unlike cryptids, spirits are free roaming powers. You know, like they can go anywhere they want to, whenever they want to. They can pop up wherever. But when it comes to cryptids, you know, they're all the time moving also. And but a lot of cryptids, like say Dogman, okay, Dogman are known to guard cemeteries, and they usually put that with Anubis, and because Anubis was the god of the underworld. And anytime you start hearing growls or anything like that at night around known graveyards, and a lot of shadow people in graveyards have been debunked as being Dogmen and other cryptids, because there is more cryptids out there than what y'all realize. Like the Cherokee and a lot of Native American tribes, they have what's called Inisha, which is a shadow-like being. They're also called breath stealers. They, like when I was growing up, my grandmother would always cover my face with a white cloth, either a white cheesecloth or a satin or silk cloth when I was young, because breath stealers are shadow men that come in and they live off of the breath of innocent children. So when the child is breathing, the breath stiller will kind of like how people in the paranormal say that they have sleep paralysis and stuff.
Yeah,
they do that. They kind of hold you down and they suck up your soul through your breath. But the white cloth protects you. Like anything white, they are afraid of. It's kind of like their kryptonite.
Isn't that what the movie Sleepwalkers was based off of? The Stephen King movie?
Loosely, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It was also based on the Inuit, the Inuit version of the same being, which is called a Psionk, which the Psionk is a more, I hate using the term, but a more demonic like being, but it's not a demon per se. They have the ability to actually mimic you. They will take over your body for a limited amount of time, but then they can bend the darkness around to take the form of you.
Kind of like a doppelganger type thing?
Yes, kind of like it, but more of a mimic.
I was reading about that with I was learning about the Fae way more.
Yeah.
And they do stuff like that where they
like a changeling.
Yeah, to kind of coin the Mothman prophecy, where the thing when it called him on the phone and he was like, "What do you look like?" and it said, "Depends on who's looking." They will kind of take on a form that is perceptive to the individual that's viewing them.
Yes.
So it's real interesting, real interesting stuff.
Oh, what the world did I do?
And what the stock does is it will harbor inside of your body, and it will drain small portions of your life force to be able to literally wear your skin. And
oh my God!
Once it comes out, it can take a form of you. It can take a form of anybody from your memories. It can also like mimic certain voices or certain actions from your memories.
Oh.
Yeah. And paranormal, I love you all, but it's not all spirits.
Yeah.
There is other
exactly.
beings out there
Yeah,
that are not.
I've been studying a lot on that ethereal realms and stuff like that, the conscious realms and the ethereal plane, even though I got slapped around on Twitter for this. But I was explaining that, to say that there's only, demons and angels and ghosts is like saying in our plane of existence that there's only, cats, dogs, and humans. There's just way more.
Right. Exactly.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to kind of always be researching, always be aware, because you never know what you're actually running into. We say it's a spirit, but it's probably more of an entity or it's a being of some sort. And we're just not, because there's stuff out there that hasn't even been named yet. We are not aware.
Right.
All right, Colin. Love you, brother. Glad to have you back, dude.
There's a video.
Right, asshole.
There's a video that just came out on TikTok that was posted last month, and it's in Arizona, and it's a cemetery where a shadow being is literally digging out a grave, and like you can see the dirt and everything piling up, and it's digging like how a dog digs, both hands, just digging into it, throwing the dirt between its legs into a pile. And when the person is in the car and everything, they start coughing out of the blue, just start coughing, and the figure turns around and looks, but there is no face, there is no like humanoid features, you know, there's no genitalia, there's no nothing, there's no hair, and it looks, and it takes running towards the car, and before it gets to the beams of the light and everything, it disappears.
Oh my!
Just like it would not disappear. It kind of like molds into the ground instead of like disappearing. And like it would not get to the lights at all. And that, I mean, there's so many other things, and it was literally moving dirt. Like, so
why was it doing that? Why was it was gonna do with the body? What was it gonna do with the body? Like,
I don't know. That's the thing. You know, if it's a fresh body, it could have been a stoke, and it could have tried to wear the skin of the dead. I mean,
oh my God.
There's hundreds of things that we don't know.
Yeah.
What is going on?
That's sure.
But
oh no. Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you know, it's not all paranormal. It like a lot of the stuff, even it's unexplainable even in the cryptid field. You know, like, what is it? We don't know. It's not like we can capture these things and test it, especially if it can just disappear into nothing.
Right.
It's all very interesting, and it's in the last, I would say, maybe year and a half, that's what I've been reading a lot on, and I study at night when I'm ready for bed. I'll go and I'll spend an hour or two in dedicated study to anything that I'm piquing interest in. That's one of the reasons why I love catching Matthew's streams, is because of the fact that he makes you think beyond what is just out there in pop culture. And I hate to say it, a lot of the paranormal stuff has become pop culture. It's been pop culture infused. It really has. And it's interesting. Everybody wants to do it, and everybody has an input, and I just talked to a friend. I was like, where is it that you're getting this information from? If you're telling me I'm doing something wrong, where do you get your information from? And they don't know. They just said they heard it. As to where me, I've been researching, and Matthew researches a lot. He, whether it's talking to somebody who specifically has seen, known, he has been on site at places, and he's a walking textbook on his own. So I love, even if I'm not in the chat, I always try to listen. He has such great streams, just a lot of information.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of the stuff you're not going to find. You're not going to find on the internet. You're not going to find like a lot of the stuff that I've learned from the Cherokee is because I grew up in the reservation with them.
Right.
And you know, our native ancestors, they don't like talking about this stuff. No. They think we are literally bringing the apocalypse down on us when we have these conversations. Like, just saying the name of this stuff, they have to literally purify their whole entire area that they talked about it. And that's how scared they are of these things. Yeah. But we walk around every day. I mean, not all of you, but there is a lot of paranormal investigators that go out there and antagonize and try to get these things to attack you. And you shouldn't do that. You're messing. It's like, don't piss in a fire. You're going to get burned. You know, it's kind of the same concept. And it's the same way with a lot of cryptid hunters also. They go out in the middle of the woods and they hoop, they holler, they hit a stick on a tree trying to get a response. And we don't know any of these calls. We don't know what any of it means. And we don't know if we're saying hello or if we're, antagonizing them.
Right.
And because we're human and we're stupid at this stuff.
Yeah, we're pretty arrogant when it comes to this stuff. We're pretty ignorant too.
Right. But, it's do your research. Do your research on everything. Don't just go on a whim thinking that you know everything because you're in the chat room talking with 6 other paranormal investigators and you hear what they do, but you don't know, but you've never done any of this stuff. You've never done your research. It's protect yourself, and it's not a game.
That's true.
And
I try to go into everything pretty humble, and I try to realize I don't know nothing in the comparable.
See, Matt, you'll be proud. We carry that with us now.
Yep.
That's my boy. That's my boy.
Rob got me, him, and Dakota. All 3 of us won and all that. So.
Oh my God. If you're on investigations of any sort and you don't have a decent first aid kit,
you need to get one.
What are you doing?
Right. But also, but here's the thing. Also, if you're going to go out to these locations and everything, you need some. Yeah. What's up, Dom?
No, I was going to say something, but you were talking, so I don't want to cut you. It's nothing important. Sorry, I'm very sorry.
Oh, you're good, brother. Trust me. If you let me talk, I will talk the whole entire time.
No, I was going to say, if you do not have a first aid kit with you going on investigations, like Jen said, what are you doing? I will hunt you for the rest of your life and give you nightmares. This is one of the first things. Anything you do, if you do explorations, you do cryptids, you do UFOs, you do spirits, you do need a first aid kit.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you have to figure out in your kits is to have that, at least the base.
And here's the thing also.
And you're right, Beth, about that. When you fake things, if you fake things, you'll be really shocked the real things show up, and and that is also true. But playing the Ouija board, unless you're doing it, like know what you're doing.
Oh yeah, I don't mess with that. No.
I never told nobody not to play with a Ouija board, but as it was decided there, please do know what you're doing before doing anything. Trying to say, "Oh, I'm gonna talk to grandma."
That's not how it works.
It's not. Yeah, exactly.
It mimics who you're trying to talk to.
Well, not just that. I saw young people, 12, 10, 12, playing with Ouija boards. Excuse me.
Well, here's the thing.
Excuse me. I have no problems. No problem that you use a Ouija board, but do you think at 10 or 12 years old you're enough to control a Ouija board?
Yeah.
Nope. No.
Exactly.
No, not really. Not really at all.
Not at all.
It could be way freaking dangerous for those kids.
A portal, yeah.
That's why it should not be sold as a game in toy sections and all that.
You can
like
go. We have a store here. I don't know if you have it in the States. We had a store here called Toys R Us.
We used to. They closed it down.
They sell that freaking game, and they have big shelves and stuff like that, and exposing. And especially on big holidays like Christmas, they have a big freaking display. And now you can get you can have it in different colors.
Yeah, pink and blue, and you know, try to make it.
I saw one green.
Yeah, they try to make it cute.
They even have a glow in the dark version.
Yep.
They even have a glow in the dark version one.
Well, I think the green one I saw is a glow one, but I'm not sure. So
because they created the glow in the dark one, so you could literally do it in the darkness. Yeah.
Because we all know that's safe.
Well, actually, I have the ancestor of the Ouija board here, gyroscope.
Yep.
Yeah.
It works with batteries. Back in the time, it was just like a pin and two wheels, but this one works, and it works as soon as the spirits do something, it does glow in the dark. So you don't need to be next to the machine. You can see it from the distance when it glows up.
Oh wow!
Okay.
Oh wow!
This is my opinion from somebody outside of the paranormal society. Okay. From everything that I've read and I've researched, everything that paranormal investigators use is technically a way to open up a portal.
Correct.
The spirit box.
You're absolutely right. That person that told you that is 1,000% right.
But they
I read it in.
If you read it, somebody wrote it, but that person is absolutely right. Anything you use, from the K2 meter to the
dowsing rods,
anything,
ITC device, anything that is meant for spiritual communication, can open a portal.
Yeah.
But technically, isn't it doing that by opening and branching the two spaces before the communication? Isn't that considered, by definition, a portal?
Well, actually, it is, Jen, because you're opening a door. When you invite the spirits to come and talk to you, you're opening the door to that portal.
Exactly.
You're opening the door to that tunnel. So when you're doing that, when we say to people, this is not a game. You can't play with paranormal.
Exactly, Beth.
Okay. So when you open the door to tell the spirits, come and talk to me. I have equipment. I have a device here. You can talk. You're opening a door. It's like opening a door to a stranger. Well, sometimes it could be family members, but the concept is like opening the door and say, anybody come in.
Yeah. I'm hoping for this person, but if someone else shows up.
Yeah, exactly. And that could be the person you're looking for, but somebody's crawling next to that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not just one person that's coming in, but it's 1, 2, 3, sometimes 4, 5, 6, 7. So sometimes we ask the spirits, how many spirits are here? And they go 12, 20, 10.
They're coming in and out.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, here's a thing that, because the EM pump, the EM pump that a lot of paranormal investigators use. All right. In 1998, when the EM pump was first established to be a power source for smaller generators, because the EM pump and everything goes into your generator. It creates a power source for your solar generators.
Yes.
There was a Harvard professor that did a magnetic pulse test on the EM pump, and what those EM pumps do in reality, it creates a opening vortex of magnetic energy, and You know, you're able to close the portals through other means, but the EM pump is kind of like a rip in time, kind of like time and space kind of thing. It cannot be closed and it cannot heal. So wherever you go ahead.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. You're talking about EM pumps, but it's the same thing if people use Tesla coils also on investigations. You're also they're projecting the same thing.
You're pumping electrons and everything into the air in the hopes that things will come through and be able to utilize that magnification.
Right.
So that's what you're doing, and you're going to tell me that once you turn it off, it goes away? It's in the air.
Yeah.
You've opened it.
You pumped it out. It's like you're saying you're throwing something in the air, but it freezes there.
Yeah. Well, what I love is when people
probably talking. So even if you shut down that machine, your thing is
the wavelength is still created.
The wave is still there. It's waving inside the place, and it's even bigger when you do that inside of a house, because now it's contained in a certain container.
As long as the stuff cannot penetrate through the porous material, it will stay contained. But if you're in like a brick area and stuff, you're more likely to have that containment. But then that's when you start getting into the more scientific, the science of it.
Yeah.
And things like that.
But just imagine all these well-known haunted locations. I don't know. What is that famous prison everybody goes to in America?
Alcatraz.
No, the really haunted one. Yeah, Penhurst. Okay.
Yeah.
Think of every single investigator that's ever went there over the past 5 years.
We're talking
every single one of them.
Several hundred.
Right. Every one of them using an EM pump. All in that same place.
And all that concrete iron.
And don't forget when you say all those teams, sometimes those places tend to book from Monday to Sunday. Right. So it's 7 days in a row, as you're seeing that people are bringing EM pumps, are bringing Tesla coils, are bringing different sources of energy to try to amp up the energy, but they're amping up the place also.
Yeah. Well, like what Citizens just said about closing portals, there's no book that tells you how to close portals. There is nothing on the spiritual side that came through and wrote a book and said, this is how you close my door. It is our human speculation on how to do this stuff. Word of mouth, things like that. So is there an expert in this? No.
But you're right. You can ask everybody here on panel how to close a portal, and
we're all going to say something different.
We'll probably have different opinions on how to close a portal. It's like paranormal. There's no concrete evidence of this and that and that. We all say we believe in something. We have proof, but this and that. But we all have different opinions on stuff, and you know, sometimes it's good to have a different opinion, a different view, but sometimes people tend to take it as, if you go tell somebody, hey, maybe if you try this instead of that, they'll take it like real personal.
Right.
You almost can't advise anybody anymore. They get all upset.
Exactly. When you try to help people out. And I saw that with different teams that are starting, no investigation under the belt. You try to guide them a little bit, you know, to help them out, not to, you know, to them to go on the field and get hurt or something, you know, or something bad, or you know. So you tend to try to help them, and after one or two investigations, they're pros.
Yeah,
they're doing private investigations. They're doing stuff, and when you try to help them back again, now you're just a pebble in the dust, so.
But also what I love is back to the EMF pumps and stuff, and anything that's pumping these electrons, you'll have people that say my equipment is going off, this is spiritual contact. And I'm like, no, it's not. You have an EMF pump, of course you're going to get stuff going off. That doesn't mean you've got anything. You've got contaminated evidence.
First of all, if you do use EM pump at the same time as an equipment, you're doing nothing. You're not investigating.
No, but I've seen a lot of, dare I say, fakers use those pumps in a second room where it's not on camera or anything, so that they can trigger, the REM pods and anything that's going to feel a current and have a response. And I'm like, it's not. Are you hearing a voice come through? Because if you hear a voice come through, I'm more apt to listen to your stuff. But the K2 meters, they're great, but they are faulty. They have their faults. You have to know the sourcing of your equipment. How does this equipment operate? Why does it do this? And most people don't know that. They don't know how their equipment even works.
Same thing, but with those small boxes, white boxes with red lights, they're alarms.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A lot of people sell those as paranormal equipment, but actually, if somebody has one, okay, test what I'm saying, and then I'm not joking. Put it maybe 20 feet away. Take a flashlight and flash the flashlight directly. Open your flashlight directly on that light, and the thing will go off.
Yeah, they censor. People trigger them with their laser pins all the time.
Well, here's the thing. Also, okay, you also have to look at the natural boundaries and the natural biome of the area that you're at.
Yes.
Like, I mean, if you're near a place that has sandstone or limestone, it builds up electrical currents from the ground. So if you're walking around on the outside of, say, Pennhurst, and it's got limestone or, any kind of porous rocks underneath, it can create electrical bursts out. So
because it grabs when the sun flashes on it, it grabs the energy of the sun and keeps it in. And once in a while, it will, like you said, burst out. So you have to be careful, because limestone is also a natural battery for the spirit
conductor.
world.
Yeah, it's
conductor for the spirit world. But it's also, as you're saying, you have to be careful, because it could be a burst of energy just that will stop there for a couple of days.
It's like copper. People don't realize copper will trigger your equipment quicker than anything else, because it is a huge conductor of electricity, and it gets it from anything, and it holds on to it. So when you have copper pipes in a home and you're investigating the home and you're like, oh, my K2 is going off, what's like you said, the biorhythms of the area, what's there? What is creating this? Then we have to naturally debunk.
That's why I prefer, when I do a private investigation, I do it a lot on private investigations, depending on the place where I go investigate. If it's a museum, a prison, or stuff like that, if I do have the permission by the owners to do a pre-investigation, what I do during the pre-investigation, I do readings. I try to read. Are the faulty wires? Are the pipes the cord? Like you were talking about the pipes, different stuff that will make the equipment go off.
Your base reading, but you're always supposed to do a base reading.
And by that too, you can figure out which equipment will not be affected by those anomalies.
But sometimes base rhythms can change periodically.
Also
depends on where you're at.
Yeah.
If there's other homes nearby, if there's other sources of electricity nearby that weren't operating at that moment, and then they turn on, you have to know everything, the whole ecosystem, completely in order to.
Here's another thing, okay? A lot of people that go to these old abandoned houses and everything that were from the return of the century, you know,
yes,
the 1920s up into the 1970s, stuff like that. Here's the thing. Even though it's abandoned and it has no electricity running to the house, it still has a telephone. It still has a telephone wire to that house. No matter if the house has no electricity or anything, there is still power running through that telephone line. So it could be abandoned for the last 50.
Yeah.
Did we lose you, Matt?
Yeah, I think we lost him.
But he proves a valuable point.
He's exactly right.
Wow.
Not because it's abandoned and there's no power in the house, that there's no power. As Matt said, a telephone line will still have power. So imagine this place that still has power that's going in the house. It's not used, so the house is building up with energy. And
that is true.
You go through that house on an investigation and it's fully charged because it hasn't been visited in 10, 15, 20.
Also, they have to bleed the pipes. Yep.
Yeah. And then even when you go into a house that hasn't completely settled because it's old and you're the first people that's gone in there in a year or whatever, when you walk in there, you're creating motion in that building.
The struts and everything.
Yeah, and so you're going to make movement and pops and bangs. You know, I mean, even on the other side of the house. So there's a lot of stuff that can occur. It doesn't always have to be paranormal, but it can be, but it doesn't have to be. It really depends. There's a lot of variables to consider.
Yeah, like what you said. You have to understand gravity too. If you're on the top floor of a building and you hear creaking and rattling, it's the house and the gravitational pull to the ground that is making those sounds. It's not, unless something literally gets thrown at you and knocks you off your feet, it's the roof settling.
There's some indisputable things where you're like, that flew across the room at an obscure angle. Okay, we can investigate that a little further, but a weird pop or the sound of motion is have to consider things.
Noise or knocking. Let's say it knocks and you ask it to repeat that, and it repeats. It's not the house settling, But as Matt is saying, the older the house is, the older you will have the older sorry, retracting. The older the house is, more you're gonna have different sounds because the house is working. The wood is drying up. The nails in the roof are popping. So they
Well, there's also elemental issues if it's windy outside. If you're going from season to season, and there's the expansion of heat, the conclusion of cold, things change, things expand and contract based on temperature variations. That's why they say go later at night when the location is at its more of a dominant temperature, so that you won't have those contradicting elemental issues.
You never want to go. You never want to go when sun rises. You never want to go when sun sets. Stuff like that.
Yeah, and there's when you've investigated in any sense for quite some time, you start realizing like, oh yeah, when I went there, I went at like 6 p.m. The sun was setting.
Right.
The air, the volume of air is transferring. Things become denser.
Yes.
Gravitational pulls are different. And also at the different types. At the different times of the solar reflection. So we're transitioning from spring to summer. There's going to be more heat conducting in the air at certain times. So yes, we're going to experience pops, bangs. There's a lot to consider.
But what's the one time when everybody goes hunting, when it goes investigating, is right the first week right after winter, you know, right into spring, where everything is thawing, everything is coming, you know, into temperature range.
One of the reasons why it's more a hype of people being inside, not being able to go out and do stuff, and getting the chance. Now it's the temperatures are going down. It's less snow for some people and stuff. So you're more tend to say, "Oh, now it's good. Let's go outside. Let's go do this. Let's go. Let's
Y'all
go
be safe, Mama Amy.
Hey, Miss Amy, how's it going?
Take care.
And so
you know, I'm y'all know me, you know, I'm not a paranormal investigator, but the thing is not a lot of paranormal investigators have common sense. You know, like that's one of the things that is a major killer of a lot of people is lack of common sense and knowing your surroundings.
A lot of that, Matt, and I know I'm gonna get some shit. I'm gonna get some emails and stuff, and I don't care.
I always get shit. It's okay.
Yeah, but you should see the amount of stuff I get. Well, anyways, has nothing to do here, and but I think since I may be wrong, I'm not saying I'm right, but since the TV shows of paranormal have come out, a lot of people tend to rush the investigations to be the first one here, the first one there, and not probably doing what they need to do. As we were saying, you know, read about the place, get information, you know, talk to people that been there, you know, gather experience before getting out in the field. A lot of people tend to more you know, like rush things to be the first to put out a video or this or that. So.
Well, it's different with y'all's field than it is with my field. You know, in cryptids, if you hear about a sighting and you cannot make it, if you don't make it within the first 24 to 48 hours, it's useless to even go there because nature hurts cryptid hunting. It destroys any evidence. It just say a sighting happens right now, okay, and I can't make it out until tomorrow, and say during right now while we're having this, and say tomorrow at noon it rains. By the time I even make it there, all the evidence and everything is already washed away and ruined because of the elements.
Right.
But with spirits, on the other hand, they're always there technically. You know what I mean? You can go today and maybe not get anything, but you could go 5 years from now to the exact same place and get a crap load of evidence.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. And you know, it's, and I don't know why people want to rush and everything to go to these wild, crazy areas and stuff.
Don't forget, like I said, we're living presently in a generation where everything has to be like quick done. If it's not done for today, well, it's not good tomorrow. You know, even food wise, now we're I'll just slap it in the microwave, it's gonna go quick, I'll be able to leave to do something else, etc. Then you put the family life in all that, and now you have kids, this is all school, you know, all those things. So like I'm saying, we're living in a generation where everything's rush, quick. So it's the same thing in the on the investigation side, and when I say investigation side, I'm talking UFO spirits, cryptids, everything. A lot of people tend to rush things a little bit, but like I do understand what you're saying is that's pure evidence. If you can't be there, you're gonna miss on that. So it's probably will set back your investigation on certain points and stuff like that. I understand that, but like I said, you can see also in cryptids what I'm talking. A lot of people do not tend to put a lot of content. It's more rush about something, but not enough juice, if you want to call it like that.
I agree, Marianne.
So Matt, I have a question for you about cryptids.
Yes,
Matt. When we were all in quarantine and the world was technically shut down, and nature was able to kind of come out more, did you notice, or was there an experience? Because I don't know the answer to this. I have no idea. Was there an experience of more sightings or anything like that at that time, since we weren't out, playing in nature, creating a hustle, and there was less, as we saw in photos, less of the pollution was out, and environment was able to be itself again? Did you notice more sightings or anything like that?
There has been a lot more activity, yes. In certain, because a lot more people during the epidemic and everything, a lot more people tried to go out camping, tried to get away from cities and stuff. You saw a lot more activity in major parks, like Yellowstone. There's a major Dom near British Columbia in Canada. There's a major park out there. I don't know the name of it. It's a French name. I think it's a French name. But supposedly there was a actual family of 4 that kind of had an attack on their pull behind camper, like what happened at LBL. If nobody knows what LBL is, it's land between the lakes, between Kentucky and Tennessee back in the 80s. But supposedly there was a gigantic hairy creature that literally flipped over pulled the 5th wheel out of the back of the truck and flipped it over onto its back by itself. Huh? So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's just the family's report on what happened, because the family was sent to a hospital. But there was a lot of reports like that came around in public parks and major parks. But there was also a account in New York City during the second phase of the epidemic that when they were opening up some restaurants and everything in New York City, that there was a 7-foot tall hairy man that was digging in a dumpster behind Hell's Kitchen.
Oh, that was me.
Oh, was that you? Okay. Case solved then.
I never heard that.
Yeah. Yeah. It happened right behind Hell's Kitchen. And they didn't call the cops or anything, because when the the workers and everything, when they were throwing out the trash and everything, they saw this guy looked like he was wearing a gigantic fur coat, but there's a brick wall that's, I think they said it's between 7.5 and 8 foot tall, and they yelled at the guy and everything and told him he better run or they're going to get baseball bats and chase him. And it looked at them and huffed at them and grabbed a bag of trash and literally in one leap jumped up and grabbed the top of the wall and hauled itself over in just one jump.
That's intense.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa,
so
that's pretty
What the hell
epic.
could that been?
I mean, I know, like what you're saying, you know, it's hard to believe in New York City that something like that would happen, but now with cryptids and the way humans are encroaching on the wilderness and wildlife, it's more and more easier for cryptids to understand that like raccoons, if you have a trash can full of trash, raccoons are going to knock over your trash can and eat whatever you got. So the same thing with these creatures that are constantly
I'm a nerd.
Yay, I'm a nerd.
Nerds. But it's easier for cryptids, instead of burning calories, you know, foraging, hunting for food, stuff like that 24/7, they can just easily go into a country subdivision and grab little bitty Fido out of the backyard, or, you know, Tabby the cat, or raid your garbage can and get food, you know, because it's easier for them now.
Shoot, they can have a couple of our cats.
I'm just a little shocked because in a big city, I would think the cryptids would like they
try to avoid,
right, especially in Hell's Kitchen. That's like it's
a
so
very populated area.
Like it's making me scared.
Well, see, that makes me believe that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are real, and this is like, dude, I have to go explore
the thing
is,
in
freaking New York now.
Well, here's the thing. There's a thing called the New York Ghoul, the sewer ghoul.
I've heard of that.
There's actual RC drainage drone
Look, I was
footage.
in college and I needed the money, but they don't need to be calling me a ghoul.
we have funny you're talking about that, because we have a similar story here in Montreal about a guy that used to live in the sewers and used to grab some kids on the street and stuff like that and bring them in the sewers and stuff like that. So
that sounds like Pennywise.
It's almost similar, but not quite similar. Anyways,
but
you'll hear about the story soon.
Yeah, but the New York sewer ghoul and everything, it looks like literally a mutated rat, a mutated hairless rat.
Oh my gosh.
It's got elongated arms and legs. It has a bony
It's Master Splinter
appendage tail.
That's all it is. It's just Master Splinter.
Yeah.
No. This thing is like, this thing has cute. It looks extraterrestrial, and it looks mutant in a form.
Reptilian?
No, not reptilian, but like a gray. It has huge oblong.
Yeah, but hold
black
on,
eyes.
Matt. There's a form of a reptilian that are similar to the grays, that are actually reptilians but gray.
Really? Yeah, I don't
Yes.
do UFOs, so.
Well, we
But
have
that's
big
interesting.
rats in New York. Some of them are as big as.
Well, the
Well,
rats in
they
New York are huge.
well they say that the
You can put
the
a
side
leash on
view
them
of
and walk
it.
them.
They said the side view of it has elongated fingers with probably about 2-inch long claws. It has an elongated mouth full of snaggle teeth, kind of like an alligator. But its tail literally connects to its spine, like completely all the way down, like how humans have a tailbone. But
The description you're giving is a reptilian.
huh.
I'm getting
I mean,
Master Splinter on Mess vibe right there. Like,
right?
That's because you're from Virginia.
True.
Yeah.
True.
I'm just kidding.
Oh no, you're right though. Shoot, Virginians are bad on that right now. I know. Yeah. We're not gonna talk about that.
No, but I mean, we don't know. I mean, like,
Yeah.
reptilians can. I mean, we're talking about creatures that we don't encounter every day, or anything like
Right.
that. It could be and couldn't be. I mean, these things can be of a subsidiary. We don't know.
Oh my God! What if they come? What do you think they would do to a human if they came out of the sewer or something?
I mean, we don't know how many there is. I mean, the thing with cryptids is. Oh, go ahead.
No, I said there's more than one.
Well, no, that's the thing with like cryptid sightings. You only see one, maybe two. All these stories that you hear of Mama Bo having 15 Sasquatch living on her 1/4 acre of land is BS. I mean, yeah, nobody has a
little nubblings.
Yeah.
Hold on. Do you know Big Mike?
Yeah.
He's saying he has a family of
Mike Bigfoot
Mike. He's
Okay, I know
saying
who
he
you're
has
talking
a family of Bigfoot on his land. He's in the Blue Mountains
We
area.
are. Yeah. He's not far from me, actually. He's maybe an hour from me.
I think he's like 20-25 minutes from Brandy.
This is my opinion. You know, I may not have 50 plus years like a lot of these people have of hunting. I have over 20 years of hunting cryptids. And every encounter I've ever experienced or anything has been between 1 to 2. And that's it. Like, I have never been in
sorry,
the area.
Sorry, Matt.
Yeah.
I was thinking I was thinking on the land. You mean spot when you see one. You see one or two, not a full bunch,
You're not going to
like
see a flock of Bigfoot together.
Yeah, a horde of Bigfoot. That's what you mean. Okay, sorry. I thought you were saying on, let's say, a land like the Blue Mountains or stuff like that. That's why I was saying.
A bear, a regular black bear, brown bear, Kodiak. Each one of them had a territorial marker of 150 acres around them. That's north, south, east, west, northwest, northeast, southwest, southeast, all around them, wherever they are, 150 acres around them. That's their territory. Same thing with gorillas. Gorillas have a territorial beacon around them. All creatures have a territorial beacon. They do not continuously stay in one area because they know if they stay in one area, they will run out of food. So they continuously move to find more and more. That's why nowadays you see bears coming out of the woods, pulling roadkill deers or roadkill animals off the road and pulling them into the woods.
I've actually seen a black bear on my road actually doing that. Like,
yes, because, and here's the thing, bears and a lot of predatory creatures, unless it's big cats, a lot of them are herbivores like us. They have a 70 to 30% diet, 70% wild edibles, 30% meat until winter time. Then they go to a 50-50%. So during spring and summer, they know that there's more wildlife out there, but it's harder and harder to catch that stuff. And in nature, trying to say that there's a wild pig outside, okay? And that bear tries to go and kill that pig. That boar has tusks on it, and it will fight back, and it will hurt. And in nature, any damage that you receive cannot be healed. So you have to have it heal on its own. And nature is dirty. Nature is grimy. So, and there's flies, there's everything else that will infect that wound. And flies lay eggs, which create maggots, which eat away flesh. Mm-hmm. So you're telling, so if bears won't take that damage and know not to attack it, Sasquatches or any other cryptids are not going to take that damage either. So they are always on the move also. So
good night, Z. Thank you for coming, brother.
So somewhere like the Blue Ridge Mountains, which is thousands of acres, yeah, they have plenty of places to forage, plenty of places to get food. But a lot of cases that you hear in cryptids is somebody saying that there's a family of 15 living on half an acre of land.
Okay.
Half an acre of land won't even sustain.
That's a lot of people on half an acre.
Right. And you got to think, okay, a human that is 6'2", 180 pounds needs to be at peak performance, needs 2,800 calories a day of food. 2,800 calories a day to be at peak performance. A female at 5'10", 150 pounds needs 1,800 calories a day to be at peak performance every day. And you think a Sasquatch that is ranging between 7 to 9 foot tall, what they claim to be, ranging from 600 pounds to almost 900 pounds in weight, they are going to need triple that. Shaq, the basketball player, needs almost 13,000 calories a day to be at peak performance.
Like Andre the Giant, remember he had a lot too.
That
like
man
I remember, remember reading his.
So these cryptids are not just sitting on their butts doing nothing. They are all the time eating. They are all the time foraging. It's a constant way of survival for these things. And humans don't know biology. They don't understand this stuff. They think, oh, Sasquatch is just taking 2 or 3 steps and disappearing into the 5th dimension and popping up somewhere else. No, they're not. They are constantly walking. They are constantly moving from land to land. You know,
they're never at the same place at the same time. Like, I mean,
right.
They're never at the same place for too long is what I meant. Yeah.
The only time you would see more than one is if a family is moving together. And that's what they do. They move together, but they spread out once they get to another territory. They are not all together at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like gorillas. You don't see 20 gorillas all together. They're all spread out. That's why it took us forever to even understand what a gorilla was. We thought they were cryptids.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
I know I probably shut down a lot of people.
No, you.
Oh hell no! That was amazing. I could sit down here and listen to Matt forever and ever and ever. Seriously, it's
I learned
always.
a lot. I really did.
You're bringing always content, Matt. It's always interesting what you're saying. So
that's why I always say, like, subscribe to him. Even if you don't interact in the chat, like, plug your ears, to it with your iPod or your iBuds or whatever, and listen, because he speaks the common sense that many people aren't wanting to hear. They want to hear give me the instant gratification, give me the sighting, give me this, give me the evidence. He's like, hold on, this is why you're not getting it. Or you need to be prepared for things better. He also does survival preparation. That is amazing. That is very common sense. That is very helpful to anybody. Some people don't want to, if the world ends, I'll, I'm going to die. He's like, really, it's not going to end like boom, all of a sudden. You need to be prepared. You need to have your rations. You need to have what you need. And he simplifies it. So he has a lot of knowledge, and I have said that from the very beginning. Like, I always love listening into Matt's lives or anything that he has. He has he's enriched me, who studies a lot. Like, he tells people, study. I study a lot, and he enriches me in areas that I probably didn't look into originally.
So, if I have any cryptic questions, I go to Matt right away. Like, he's the first one I go to. Like,
thank you. I just want us all to understand that everything goes hand in hand, but everything is not the same. It's, I mean, paranormal is with cryptids. It is with UFOs. But spirits are not cryptids. And it's like, there is cryptids that are classified as living creatures that will look like spirits, will look like shadow men, will look like whatever. There is Korean cryptids called I don't know how to say it in Korean, but it means mist man. And a lot of the pictures that you see that that could be mist forms that look like it has a face or something like that. It could be the mist. It could be a mist man, which they are called silent killers. What they do is they come out and they are literally soul hunters. They want to kill humans.
Matt, are you talking about the Sisyphus?
I think so, yes. Like they literally, when you cannot normally see the mist, but you will only see the mist when it's right on you. Then it will engulf you. And if anybody's ever been engulfed by mist and start coughing or feel like you're being strangled,
that happened.
That is one of these.
Okay.
Like, and supposedly you will see multiple different faces in this mist. Like, it will take on a form of a face that will scare you the most. So
Dubs, your ex.
I'm terrified now. I'm gonna have nightmares. I'm gonna have nightmares now.
I don't think so.
But I mean, there is over 5,000 different cryptids worldwide, and it's not just the big four. Every country, every continent has cryptids in it that's been around for thousands upon thousands of years. So,
well, it's kind of like when they say if the ocean was clear, nobody would ever go into it. You know,
ain't that the truth?
Because there is things out there that we haven't. It has, like I said, it hasn't been named. You know, things we haven't seen and experienced, and the world is pretty infinite as far as what we comprehend. And there's a lot out there, and I just try to promote that awareness, I guess, so to speak. So when I go to Matt, I'm always like, he's going to enrich my capacity for this. And as I do with several other people I follow, but Matt really does speak to it to more of the common sense approach in a way that is delivered very, very well.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'd try. I know I get off subject a lot. I'm like a lobotomized squirrel sometimes.
You just have so much in your mind. You are so inflated with knowledge that it's and we all do it. I think that's how we get off topic so easy is, this lends to this, which lends to this. And so it's totally fine. I'm neurodivergent. I'm off topic 9 times out of 10. So.
Right.
I do the same thing too.
I mean, earlier we was talking about freaking Teletubbies and Barney and all that. So yeah.
Hey, what you got against Barney?
Barney's my hero. Like Barney and Chuck Norris are my heroes.
I hate Barney.
But you know what? It's good to have these topics and discuss them because some people don't know what they're experiencing when they're just out in nature. I'm not even talking. They're not even paranormal searching, cryptids, nothing. They're just out in nature, and you can come across something that you don't understand. And if you don't have the like I said, the common sense delivery of what this possibly could be, it could torment you mentally.
Well, see, that's why when people say you don't take objects from places, but I'd rather me take something that has an attachment to it than like a freaking 7-8-year-old child take it and it has something evil in it and they don't know what to do. And I'd rather me deal with that than a freaking kid or something.
Well, there are true, but there are people that don't have the respect for the culture, land, or otherwise.
Yeah.
And that you can be playing with. Well, look at it in this way, in a cryptid sense. Would you go to Bigfoot's house and start taking rocks from it? Probably not. You know, you don't need to be destroying their stuff and what can correlate with that. And we don't know the entire complexities of their soul structure and emanating structure.
We're talking about cryptids and stuff, but that also equals for the houses. You know, when you see young people go in old houses and start smashing stuff and painting and gradually doing grafts and stuff like that,
that's the stuff that irritates me.
That's insult to everything. So you know.
Yeah. So I try to be respectful. Like, look at it as if somebody had come to your home, would you be okay with them removing a small thing, even if you didn't notice it right away? You know,
I use that same example.
Yeah, you know, you wouldn't want to do that. Even removing a flower from a garden, you know, that can not be okay. But you would think, well, it'll grow back. It's okay. You know, there's nothing's trivial enough that you deserve to remove it, you know, in a non, you know, permissible way. And that's what I see a lot from these newer and I hate saying it like this, but let's just call it what it is, these newer people that are exploring, whatever the case may be, and they will go and kick something over, a pile of rocks, or you know, not knowing what it is, and it's ceremonious to somebody somewhere somehow, and then they go, well, I'm having all this bad luck or whatever, and maybe they associate it with it, and maybe they don't. But people used to go and steal headstones from cemeteries and think it was okay. And
because of the artwork.
Yeah, and they think that that's, you know, whatever. There's, you know, no ramification.
That's bad too. Also, going cemeteries and knocking off tombstones and stuff. That's disrespectful.
I use this terminology. Okay, if you're sitting in your house and
definitely, Barbara.
What happened?
What? Barbara saying her taking care of her parents, and they both have Alzheimer's.
So, thoughts and prayers are sent to you and the family, Barbara.
My father.
My grandfather
has many prayers. But it's all in how you do things, and if we wouldn't want it done, we shouldn't be doing it. I don't care if you look at it as a creature, a spirit. I don't care how you look at it. Beings are beings. That's how. That's how I feel. I could be wrong, but that's how I feel, and I wouldn't want to put that out there. How I wouldn't want to receive. That's how I follow things in the world.
Well, I let people look at it this way, okay? You have a house, correct? All of us has a house, right? Okay. No.
Well, Nubs has a dumpster, but that's not just kidding.
Right.
I mean,
but we all have a domicile of some sort, a lodging for ourselves.
Yes. Well, if you're sitting there in your living room and you're watching Netflix and you're relaxing and everything, and I come in and I kick in your door and I go in and I intimidate you. I come into your lodging. I come taking whatever I want to, doing whatever I want to, telling you to get up and fight me, all this stuff. What are you going to do in response? Are you going to sit there and let me do whatever I want to without retaliation? Or are you just going to sit there?
I have a question.
Right.
It's gonna sound funny and stupid at the same time, but it is a question, and that goes out to anybody out there in the chat or listening. What do you expect when you're in a room and tell somebody that's not there physically with you in the room, come and fight me?
Right.
If you have infinite ability, what do you think something's good like that's gonna do? I mean, we don't know if it has infinite ability, but you know, it certainly has something that you can't fully comprehend, and you're gonna challenge it.
That's what I'm saying. You don't know what's in front of you. You don't know what you're gonna challenge, but you're saying, "Come on and come fight me." You're gonna swing where? Where is it?
I mean,
you see,
and just going into the place and just cussing at it or doing whatever you want to. If you live in an apartment and your neighbors are cussing and yelling and everything, you're going to see what's wrong, what's going on. You're going to see, and if you get into somebody else's business, because they're making a ruckus and you retaliate to that, you're the bad guy now. And that's how we see, that's how a lot of people see spirits. People see spirits. Like, I'm not mad at the ghost or whatever that pushed me and broke my tibia on a live stream.
I remember
I'm
that
not
too.
mad at that. But I didn't do anything to piss that spirit off. But it was defending its land. It was defending what it considered its home.
Right.
It's the same thing as going out in the middle of the woods and a bear or a mountain lion or something considers you dinner because you're in its home. You are the easy target to get. Instead of chasing that rabbit, it's going to go after nubs,
Sammy.
Or if you go out to a known location that supposedly has Sasquatch sightings and everything, and you're going out there intimidating it by trying to mimic its calls, whatever, beating a stick against a tree, acting like a fool, and you get a head-sized rock thrown at you and you die, that's your fault. You're doing something that you should
Serves you
not
right
do.
at that point.
Right. You always have to respect everything that you do. I mean, it's the same thing. You won't respect if you're at your job and everything, and somebody comes and is being a jerk at you. You don't like that. You don't. So give it respect. Give spirits respect. Give it all respect.
Even spirits are just, considering if spirits are humans that have passed and their energy is, remaining. I think we can all agree that's what we consider spirits. In our human form, we all act differently. Our personalities are very different. Now, when somebody retaliates, they may not only retaliate once. They might want to keep retaliating until their vengeance is fulfilled. And you could have just done something very minor, but they're like, "No, your shit's mine. I'm fucking your world up." And people wonder why, like, "Oh, I didn't do anything." Well, yeah, you did, but you aren't aware of what you did. And now this spirit who's been messed with for who knows how long, by how many people, is like, "It's your day, dude. I'm rocking your shit. Yeah, you're the one. Your day has come." And that's why I tell people, like, you need to be prepared for what you go into. This isn't a hard thing. And
I often tell people, the spirits are grandmas, grandfathers, uncles, and friends that passed on to doing something else. And you want to be treated properly. You don't want to be yelled at. You don't want to be pushed. You don't want to be nagged and stuff like that. You don't want people to disrespect you. And as Matt was saying, you don't you don't want them to come to your house and move stuff and take stuff in real life. So that's the same thing in their dimension. They're still people.
Yeah, and you can be just the dumb one that walked in at the wrong time, wrong place, wrong time. After 20 some other investigators messed up their, place and their sacredicity, and we've just walked in there and boom, we're the ones that are going to get hit. So like I tell a lot of people, it's not a hobbyist thing. This is real. just like looking, like with the cryptid stuff, it's it's a real thing. I mean, we do have beings and otherwise that we are not familiar with, and so when you encounter these things and you have no conscious thought of that surrounding that that
Jesus.
person's, that being's home, spirit or otherwise, and you go acting a fool and having dare I say no common sense about it, what do you expect to happen? What is it that you really think is going to happen?
Yeah. Well, it's not only that, sis. You also got to look at the age gap of these spirits also. If you go into a place that is, if you go into a place that's 200 years ago,
with your camera and your K2 until it makes this light up, it doesn't have any concept of it.
Well, it's not just that. I mean, you say okay, like Penhurst. Okay, how old is that? What, 150 years old?
Right.
Something like that. Okay, and it's a prison, right? I mean, you have to think of the mindset of those spirits that died all the time at that place. And 150 years ago, if somebody they didn't. It's not like it is today where they're going to have the cops called on them because they, beat the crap out of somebody. If you intimidate them to a point where they're going to retaliate, they are going to try to kill you because they were in a prison.
Right.
So they don't have any care about what you are. You challenge them. So get what you deserve.
We experienced that in the Gila jail in Globe, Arizona with the and I explained that to the people we were with. These spirits they were left in inhumane conditions, over capacity, what have you. This prison was literally closed down for being uninhabitable. Like, it was just inhumane conditions, even for prisoners. So it was bad. And I tell people, you're going to come in here and you're going to yell at them. They're more of a badass than you ever will be. Trust me. They've survived in here, and you want to call them out. So when a spirit tells me, no, I don't want to communicate, I take that. I'm not going to push the envelope. I'm not going to, nope. Okay, I am sorry I came into your space. I don't care if they were the worst of the worst. They, murderers, rapists, or whatever. I don't care what they were convicted of. You're playing in a realm where they win. That's their space, and they know how to control you. You really want to go up against that? I don't care what your ego says. You really want to go up against that? And people are like, yeah, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to, okay, I'll bring it up. Zach Bagan used to be a big ass when he investigated.
Oh, yeah.
And he got
you
knocked around.
mean bedazzled Ray-Bans?
Yeah, and then he got knocked around. He got knocked around in his little demon house or whatever you want to go. Several places, honestly, but people noticed it in the demon house when he had his vision messed with, and after that he kind of decided he didn't want to do that a whole lot. He still got some attitude, but it's nowhere near where it was, because he wanted to challenge things. He wanted to push the envelope. What are you gaining from that? What do you get? Oh, you got some videotaped evidence? Yeah, well, spiritually you got your ass kicked. And you're not going to recover from that because you don't know how to recover from that.
Right.
I mean, come on. We're playing with stuff mentally. We are just on the tip of the iceberg of what we can even understand with this stuff. Yeah. And there's people out there going, nope, you're wrong. Spirits can do this. They can do this. So we know. So we say. We don't know what they can and cannot do.
Exactly.
We know what we've experienced. We know what others have experienced. We're all a bunch of students in this. All of us.
Hell yes.
And see, like in the paranormal, y'all don't know what's going to happen. But in cryptids, you will die. That's the thing. It's a whole entire different game.
Exactly.
You go out there, you ain't coming back. But the spirits may just have a good fun go with you and let you go home.
But the good fun go could lead to your death, your death also. If you mess with the wrong spirits, they could fuck you up to commit suicide and stuff like that. So
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It can mess with your psychosis. Mostly your psychosis is what it messes with to drain you out. So okay, from what we understand, I'll speak it like that. From what we understand now, cryptid. That's something even honest to God, I'll admit I'm intimidated to even go do something like that, cryptid searching or anything like that, because of my lack of knowledge. And even though I research a bit, I will never consider myself, at this point in my life, ready to do something like that. Because as Matt said, we're talking about physical, real life things that can cause. I don't want a 900-pound Bigfoot coming and kicking me in the face. I'm dead as I say if that happens.
Yeah, Beth, that's crazy. When people don't listen, it gets bad.
That's what I was saying at the beginning. You try to help new people that come in the investigation field, and they become experts after one or two investigations, and you can't bring them anything. But that's not true. Anybody can bring something to somebody else. I'll give you an example. Let's say Nubs, you investigate a certain way, and I could take something you're doing, but twist it to my my abilities, to my ways.
Yeah,
we're all novice. To be honest with you, we're all novice.
Oh hell yes!
I've never met a master yet in any of this. I have not, and I've met a lot.
Hold on. A lot of people told me they were masters.
See, people like that, I wouldn't take advice from. If you're so full of ego, you're gonna get me killed.
Yeah,
that's all I can think when I hear that.
Oh yeah, like, I mean, I see more and more people now in the cryptid using paranormal equipment. Using pre-recorded calls, using scent tabs with pheromones from basic other creatures to try to attract cryptids.
So you're using pheromones in their food so they'll come eat you? That's all
like female gorilla scent when they're in heat.
I paranormal experience.
Like they think they believe that if they capture the scent of a female gorilla in heat, because you can buy this stuff. You can buy, female deer scent that's in heat. You can buy female heat scents on any creature on Amazon, and they buy this stuff that's already pre-soaked and everything, hanging it from trees, and it's like, you want to set up a half an acre of land with female gorilla scent to a maybe alpha male Sasquatch, and
would that be like putting blood in the shark tank?
Yes,
and then jumping in and trying to pet him, hoping nothing happens.
It doesn't work.
Pretty much.
I'll try that. I'll try that tomorrow with the sharks.
You put some cow's blood in the shark tank, and then you go in there and pet them and tell them hi from me.
Right? I mean, people do not understand the way pheromones work. Like, not all people, should I say? But I mean, have you ever seen a dog that was in heat and trying to get out, like a male that isn't fixed or anything, and if he catches the scent of a female, he becomes feral because he wants what she has, and it's going to be 10 times worse for any wild animal, and they are animals. We are animals. So
that's true.
Put that in your equation.
Yeah, something very primal as a creature that's never experienced any type of restriction, and
Right.
and then put that out there. I couldn't. I couldn't, and I wouldn't. I would run from the people doing it. I'd be like, get away from me. Call me a chick,
or it's like,
I don't care.
Well, it's not only that, but it's like investigators like spirit investigators going to a house that, say, a spirit killed his family and everything, and you're wanting to call out his wife or children or whatever, like.
It sounds like that investigation where I went on and they told me, "Hey, you can harm nubs. You can put your hands on nubs." Yeah, it
remember how pissed
like
off
that.
I was like, I'll come hurt you and then see how you like it.
Yeah, that's why I don't. Yeah,
but it's that trauma. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even though that spirit killed his family, then killed himself or whatever, but he still, quote unquote, loved his family at one point. Maybe he had a mental breakdown or something, but now he's a grieving spirit or whatever. And now you call that person out saying, you killed her. Why did you kill her or whatever? You don't think that spirit that is an emotional damaged spirit is not going to, try to kill you instead?
Or want to cause some sense of harm to you or retaliate.
That could be one thing, but the other thing you have to figure out too is you're saying that the spirits has a mental breakdown and kills his family, then kills himself. When he passes on the other side, he's still on a mental breakdown.
Yeah, I mean,
so now you're provoking something that's a little bit more dangerous.
Well, look at it in the sense of provoking a spirit that has murdered. This spirit has taken human life before, and you're going to challenge it? Why don't you put your head in the lion's mouth some more and see what happens?
Yeah.
Just because they're spirits and you're like, oh no, they can't harm me, and people will say, this is no disrespect to anybody. They're like, as long as I pray ahead of time, I'll be okay. I'll be protected. If I come out of this, I'll do what I need to do and I'll be protected. We don't know how well those things actually, to be honest with you, we don't know how well those things actually work. We hope they work. We have faith they work.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like you're doing these things to excite a spirit some way, whether in a good way, bad way, what have you. And then you want to just come out unscathed. So as long as
you're stirring a pot that maybe it's gonna overspill. So and when it overspills, do you have the abilities to maintain that overspill? And a lot of teams do not have that experience for the overspill. And that's when you get people possessed. That's when you get people sick, people acting really strange, etc. Because
that's why I don't do investigations back to back. I won't do investigations back to back, like one here one night, one here one night. I mean, if I absolutely have to because of travel, I'll consider it depending on how I feel, because we don't know what we've come out with.
That is true.
You're right. You're right, Jen. Even me, when I go, let's say when I went to the States, I took days off between doing stuff and visiting for future investigations and stuff. And I was taking breaks, even if it was just scouting places out. I would scout the places for, let's say, a day. Then I would pass 2 days more without doing nothing but just regular stuff.
You got to recharge spiritually,
Yeah.
protectively. It's like going out and if I was to go investigate cryptids, going back to that a little bit, I wouldn't go out there for days with no food and water in reserve and then go back out. I'm going to be weak mentally, physically, possibly emotionally. And if I do encounter something, am I at my optimal? I would not be. And this is why I don't do back to back.
When I do go out to investigate, I always have at least a candy bar with me and water. Yeah.
And you have to know when to pull yourself away from the situation. If you're if you're involved in a session of some sorts, ITC, spirit box, Ouija, whatever, dowsing rods, and you are feeling shaky, you are feeling out of your element, you are feeling something else's energy of some sort, and it is not something that you are familiar with or you think you can control or contain yourself, what have you, it's out of your element. You need to learn or know when is your point of, I have to walk away from this. Some people will tell you, you can't do that. Why not?
Well,
no, hold on. When people say you can't do that, that's not true. Mm-hmm. Okay? Because if you feel tense when you go on an investigation, whatsoever, if you feel that in your gut feeling, if you feel around yourself that you're not at ease,
thank you, Marianne.
Back up. Just back up till you feel comfortable. Then go back.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, go back. Go back. Why? Because not to be, in doubt on your next investigation, saying, "Oh, will it happen again?" or stuff like that. So just you go to your ease. If you go back and you're still not at ease and say, "Oh, I want to get out," get out.
You need to get out. You don't need to let something overpower you. It's like going into battle weak. You're going to perform weak, and you're more susceptible. You're more susceptible to a bad outcome or a negative consequence. Call it what you will, but a lot of people are like, "No, I've got these tools." They'll carry tools with them. Tools of faith. Otherwise. And if those don't, let's just say if I go to a spirit, a specific type of spirit, native spirit, otherwise, and I hold up something and that spirit has that item has no consequence to that spirit, is it going to necessarily keep that spirit at bay from me? There's a possibility.
Like taking a rosary to an Indian reservation.
Yeah.
They don't care about that.
Yeah, it's not in their repertoire of consequence. So those faith-based items may not work, but they'll say that will work every time. I've had people tell me, as long as I carry a cross with me, I am protected under God. And that is their faith. That is their faith. But if I go to a place where God is not a concept, there are places where that exists, whether we like to admit it or not. And if I go to those places and I hold that up, what would that protect me from? I'm hoping that God will protect me, but I've got something in front of me right here. So, things like that. We have to use our common sense. God helps those who help themselves. We are aware. But if we're going to go into, like I said, the lion's den, we're going to receive a consequence of some sort. And
it's like anything you do in life. Okay, let's say a policeman, he goes to work. You never know what's gonna happen on a day of work. Yeah. He could be in a bank robbery. He could be in a shooting. He could be on a murder case. He could be.
Yep.
It's different. It's the same thing. It's the same thing on the other side. You don't exactly know what we're dealing with. So it could be a young kid. Then he's gonna get your heart. You're gonna get small kid. In reality, it's something else behind that small kid. So you have to be always careful, always be on your guard. And like Jen said, not because you have a cross, it's gonna protect you. Okay.
Well, like what
I do wear a cross. I do wear a cross every single day. I do wear a rosemary going on an investigation, and I got attacked. Yeah. So,
well, it's like Matt said, we think it's just mist, and then all of a sudden, it's a little bit more than mist. things like that. So we need to be more prepared for walking into those lines of fire. And I know there's a lot of people out there that they host panels and stuff like that, and they do provide some insight, but it's like they just gained that insight yesterday, or they just researched it that week, and they could be presenting information, but it's not. They didn't debate it out. They didn't find the loopholes. They
didn't experience that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of loopholes and stuff you find, like Matt said, simply online. You're not going to find a lot of information about Native American spirits and stuff online because it's closed practice. So how are you going to find it online? Things like that. We need to be a little bit more conscious of what isn't available to us versus what is available to us. And that's why I don't stop at what I find in one source. I'm going to find it in 17, 2,500 different sources. And then I'm still going to go between the lines and find out how things connect. And that's the way my brain works. I have to research it. Otherwise, I don't present it in any concentrated effort. I will say this is what I've learned, and I leave it at that. I don't give it the face value of it is the most credible. 100% you should lean your hat on that. I don't.
I have the same problem. When something pops in my head on something, I have to research it, but sometimes my research will tend to me not to go to sleep. Sometimes it goes way crazy to the point where I'll realize I've been all day searching, not eating, not taking a shower, not doing nothing, not sleeping. It goes crazy sometimes, but it's also all worth all all, like you say, Jen, going through the lines, not just seeing the direct picture and saying, oh, that's what it is. Like in school, what they teach us about stuff, it's like just a mirror
of politically correct version.
Yeah, it's like doing a painting and say, oh, okay, we're gonna touch here because that's missing a paint. It's like a perfect picture, but it's not always like that.
Yeah.
Some things you can go from to be with, not everything. Some things have different counterparts. And like I said, I go to people that I've been able to, when I research their words, I come up with the same conclusion. And so I will lend my thought process to them, or I will lean to them for more information. That's the way when I found Matt, the stuff that he would bring up and the things that he would discuss, I found a lot more value into it, and it led me into other ways to research something. So he was a mentor to me in those ways, and I will, lean on that information. But I've walked into panels where they're talking about, let's just, pick anything, a Ouija board. And when I ask, where did you get your information from? And like I said, they will say things like, my brother's cousin's ex-husband's former roommate experienced this, but there's no
concrete. There's no concrete.
They don't know where. They don't know where the information originated that they're carrying as their sword and shield.
And a lot of people also, when you go get your information, be sure that you have a source coming from that information, because a lot of people tend to copy paste from other pages.
Consider the source always, and always question it. Even if it's someone you do trust, question it. Find out more about it. Continue to question, because that's how we expand.
Here's the thing, okay? I have a master's in cultural anthropology, okay? It's literally killed my way of thought on religion in general, okay? I'm not atheist, I'm not whatever. I'm agnostic. I believe there's something out there, I don't know what. But I was raised in a Southern Baptist house. My father was a Baptist preacher. He was also a Baptist exorcist. Like, not technically an exorcist, but able to get rid of demons and evil spirits in houses. And I grew up my whole entire life with my dad doing this for houses in Georgia, in Tennessee, in Alabama, a lot of places.
Was he called what we call a deacon?
Kind of a deacon. I mean, he was a pastor. He was a Baptist pastor. But
okay, so between a deacon, okay,
yeah.
No, I'm trying to figure out with that. I'm asking that question because I'm trying to put in the kind of, because Baptists and Christian are a little bit different with the priests and the pastors and.
Well, you're trying to find an understandable comparable.
Yeah,
yeah. He was the pastor of his own church, his own. Oh, who do we lose?
We lost Diva.
We lost Diva.
Oh, Diva. But you know, I grew up from birth till I was 15 years old with going to houses, seeing things that I did not know how to believe. And I was a baptized true believer in, you know, the Baptist faith. And I've seen things. I've seen doors slamming open when we pull it up. My dad, okay, kind of like, has anybody ever seen Supernatural, the TV show?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. My dad's trunk in his 78 Buick was like that. He had a super soaker of holy water. He had all these different stones, all these, I'm talking about like glyph stones that would be put in, that were called spiritual.
Thank you, Diva. Good night, sis. Love you.
Good night, Diva, sis. But like glyph stones that are put on the corners of the houses to make a holy barrier to keep the spirit in the house, to literally destroy the spirit and put it back in place. He had he had incense of myrrh. He had everything that he needed at his disposal in his trunk. And my dad worked first, second, and third shift. He would, after he would get off from work, he would come and pick me up, put me in the back seat of the car so I wouldn't miss school. And he would still continue on doing this stuff every day. And I was his soul beacon. His what he considered a innocence barrier. An innocence barrier is the most pure light. And I was the one that would set the glyph stones around the house, and my dad would say the prayer to put up the barrier to keep the spirit in the house. When I was 5 years old, I saw every window in a house open up, the doors slam open, and growls come out of houses when I would do this.
Damn.
When I was 15, my dad allowed me to come in with him and help him with a evacuation. And I was setting the crucifixions around the house to block the spirit from even going to any exit. And I was setting the last crucifixion in the basement of the house. When I walked down the stairs and everything, all the power in the house went out. I set the last crucifixion on the ground, the house trembled like it was a 7 on the Richter scale of an earthquake. It was, and I had a flashlight with me just in case. And this still scares me to this day. This is why I'm afraid of the dark. This is why I don't trust the darkness at all.
Oh, wow.
And when I turned on the flashlight and I looked at the bricks that was in the basement, there was charcoal eyes on every single brick that was blinking and following me. And it was growling.
Wonderful.
And I ran up the stairs and the door slammed on me. And I was trying to get out. And I pushed and I pushed and I pushed. And I finally kicked it 3 times and it finally opened. And my dad grabbed me and threw me out the back door, outside of the barrier and everything. And he's told me to stay out there. And my father stayed in that house for 6 hours battling whatever was in that house. And he came back almost pale, like he had a heart attack. And it sorry. It's not a prayer that protects you. It is the faith that you have. If you don't have the faith behind a prayer, if you don't have the faith behind the belief, they are just words. It doesn't matter. I have seen people that are supposed to be true Christians, true Baptists and everything, continuously praying all the time, going to church and everything, and their houses had evil spirits in it, or whatever you want to call it. And then it come to find out that one of their children or somebody in their house did not have the same faith as them. And it opened up the portal for whatever happened in there. And my dad has went to the same house multiple times to try to fix it. He would fix it for a little limited time, but then it would come back. Something else would come back different. And if you are saying these prayers or whatever, and you have no belief in it, or you have no true faith in it, and it's like saying, you're saying a Catholic prayer, but you believe in paganism. That's contradicting what you're doing. You know, you believe in paganism, or you believe in Norse mythology, or whatever way. Do one of those protection prayers, not the protection of Saint Michael. Everybody uses that. And I tell people this all the time, because you are just playing make-believe doing this stuff without true, and yes, it is intent. It is, and that was the thing that kind of dropped my religion, dropped my belief in it, is because I was a true believer, and I was still trapped in that basement. No matter how much faith I had, whatever that was, was still going to hurt me. It did not matter. And it hurt my father. It drained my father. Like, if you don't have the ability to literally defend yourself and you don't have the willpower to stand up to it, you need to stop. You need to stop. You're ahead of the game. And
I completely agree.
100%.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but
don't be sorry. You're providing information that a lot of people are afraid to even speak on, and it's a safety precautionary measure.
It's just, you know, a lot of the paranormal people, they're all, I believe in Wicca, I believe in this, but I'm going to say this protection of Saint Michael prayer. Don't do that, because you're contradicting yourself. You know, why are you saying a Catholic prayer when you believe in Wicca? Like, your belief is in that religion. Say a protection spell in Wicca to protect your ass, not another religion that you don't even care about. You're just doing it. You're just doing that prayer because everybody else will just follow you like sheep in the chat and say amen. And you're just milking it. So, sorry.
Hey, I mean, you're
Hey,
speaking
stop with the sorry.
You don't have to
It's
be
just, I
sorry
don't
here.
like getting religion. I don't like touching that.
It's a hairy topic. Yes, religion can be, but
Yeah.
it's something that you're saying that someone who's going to watch this at any given point in time may benefit from. And some people aren't going to like it, and that's their own personal conviction. And some people, it may go against some people's faith, and that's fine too. Your faith should be so strong that if what Matt's saying is bullshit, should not affect you. Okay,
exactly.
That's the case. But if it does cause an irritation or a kinker within your faith or in your thought process of faith, maybe your faith isn't where it should be. Question yourself, internalize, and go within, because religion, organized or otherwise, is a very PC topic anymore. And it can make people want to argue in a sense. And that's okay. It's okay to support your faith and back your faith. It really is. But at the same time, you know how many faiths there are in this world? We can't all be right about the same thing.
Exactly.
We're all human and we make mistakes, and that's okay too.
You have to open up your mind to others.
Yep.
But
you also have to take those mistakes and learn and grow from them.
Right. And on that note, I think I'm gonna end this.
Yeah,
that's actually a really good place to end it. Thank you, Diva, Dakota, Fluffy, and Jenny, Matthew, Dom, everybody that came in the chat. Y'all
thank you,
Nubsy.
Thank you, Nubsy, for having us on panel. Thank you for the people in the chat.
Fluff said to say sorry. He did have to go take the little one and go to bed because little one was awake.
Yeah,
so he kind of exited out. But thank you so much.
We definitely appreciate y'all coming. Thank you, Barbara, for the donation. Thank you, G, for joining the Turtle Nation. But I will see y'all tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern is my Sunday vlog part 1. 4:45 p.m. Eastern is part 2. And then Jenny has a live tomorrow, right?
Woo-hoo. Yes, I do.
Yes, you do, Jenny.
I am live at, I think I have it set at 7:15 Pacific. So that's 10:30. That's 10:15 for everybody else.
I will.
Okay, okay, cool. I'll be finished working. Hope so.
Yeah.
But Later, everybody.
Thank you all. Y'all take care.
I'll have a live survival Sunday after 11 p.m. tomorrow, maybe.
All right.
I shouldn't take too long, so if not, I'll rewatch you because you always have really good stuff. But everybody, take care. I love you all. Have a great night.
Bye.